What is up, everybody? And welcome to the WAN Show. We've got a great show lined up for you guys this week. I forgot what the title of the video is, so...
it's about the Tesla thing.
Oh, lordy. It has been alleged, according to inside sources from Tesla, that the company's self-driving training put more weight on training data from influencers and YouTubers with Tesla vehicles in order to ensure that the people who were most likely to upload video of full self-driving functioning had the best experience. We're going to be talking about that and how we feel about it. What else we got? Oh, wait, no, I was going to do two.
You need to do another
Yeah,
topic.
I'll do two.
What's going on?
Nobody cares about the AI features on Snapdragon X Elite, whatever the order is, Snapdragon X Elite laptops. What? No one cares about the AI. They just want battery life?
That's it.
Are you kidding me, Luke?
That's the whole topic,
Are you kidding
actually.
me? But Luke, I thought AI was all that mattered.
Can you think of the children and their AI features?
What else we got this week?
Well, I wanted to do that topic, but the Ryzen 9000 launched, and Xbox Game Pass increased in price, because apparently everything has to.
Not just increased in price, also got convoluted as all get out. I can't wait to talk about that.
Oh, no.
Dude, there's like 5 tiers of it now. 5 tiers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The show is brought to you today by MANSCAPED, AG1, and Seasonic. Of course, alongside our Secret Lab chair partner. Our chair partner, Secret Lab. Whatever, the point is, there's the logo. This is great. North_star says, this just in. My tech illiterate aunt isn't a tech CEO obsessed with AI. You're right.
What?
No, the AI versus battery life Snapdragon. The point is, let's jump right into our headline topic, which is, of course, that Tesla's self-driving, well, I think self-driving is generous, but then again, calling it full self-driving is also generous. So let's just call it Tesla's driving assists, shall we? According to Business Insider, sources inside Tesla have claimed that the company's self-driving training puts more weight on training data from influencers and YouTubers with Tesla and also CEO Elon Musk. So that one is actually...
That would make sense to me.
Well, no, I want to unpack that one a little bit more later. First, I want to talk about the influencers. Current and former employees say they were instructed to put additional resources into routes that were frequently driven by these VIPs. For example, having employees who review and annotate footage for training, having them spend more time on footage from these drivers. Wow.
Ugh.
If effective, this strategy means that Tesla's full self-driving would be significantly smoother and more accurate on these routes than it would be on a typical road. It is therefore likely to conclude that the company wanted high-profile drivers with large audiences to have a better experience without even knowing that their experience was not representative of what the average user would see.
Which is super bad. This type of activity is something that you have to try to look out for as a reviewer. The first way that I was introduced to it was people talking about golden samples.
Yeah.
Where companies will send you a known perfect version of their product instead of just picking one off the line. And that can be a problem, especially when you're talking about performance products.
Yes.
Because we would talk about golden sample CPUs.
Yeah.
Where a brand would send you a CPU that is the best possible binning.
Which we've tested multiple times and never found evidence of in terms of our CPU sampling. But what I've heard is that it was potentially a practice in the earlier days of tech media, especially when overclocking was a far more important aspect of reviewing a potential chip.
At one time, that was the main. That was the main thing I would read on articles when I was a kid. For parts.
But can you overclock the snot out of it?
Yeah.
Now my question is, because obviously there's the things about this that are just generally skeezy, right? you shouldn't want to misrepresent your product because it's going to lead to bad experiences for your customers. I mean, we discussed this in detail when we did our video earlier this week on AMD's extremely misleading naming scheme for their Ryzen mobile processors. It should be in your best interest as a company to accurately represent your products so that you create brand loyalty and people come back to you time and time again. So I'm not going to get too deep into that right now, but what I want to talk about is or should this be illegal? Because technically, I don't think that Tesla is violating any law. Nobody says that they have to manually annotate the footage from every user equally. They could have any number of reasons for focusing on a particular area. Oh, we're doing a big focus on hilly terrain, or we're doing a big push on unusual signage.
Or we found that this user is in like the bottom 1% for successful self-driving.
Sure.
So the area that they're driving in must be highly complicated. Let's try to train on that data and figure out what's going on.
So they could offer up any explanation for this that would be at least plausible enough that it would be difficult to nail down beyond reasonable doubt that they did this simply to juice the perception of full self-driving and bilk people into spending thousands of dollars for a feature that is not going to perform the way that they might expect it to. Now, there have been situations where it's not really bilking. I think when Tesla offered a preview of full self-driving, I believe they offered a month. Was it 2 months? They offered a preview of full self-driving, and many people tried it out and were happy with it and kept it, but many tried it out and kind of went, this is not what I expected, and did not move forward with the purchase. But there have been times when I don't believe there was a meaningful way to get a refund if you bought it. And correct me if I'm wrong, have they always offered the option to return within 30 days?
I have no clue.
I would love to hear from you guys. No, not always. Yeah, I didn't think so. I was pretty sure there were times when they were basically asking you to buy it sight unseen, especially in the earlier days when the betas weren't even functional from a fully self-driving perspective. So at what point do we look at this whole thing, and does this become one of the great scams of the 21st century?
Yeah, I mean, it's rough.
Because it's been going on for half a decade now. There are still people who will attack me for talking about how this has been a failed promise, how it was so obvious from the start that
weren't they the ones that announced that it doesn't work on hardware 3 or whatever?
Yeah. But people are still so mad. What is up with your Elon hate boner or whatever else?
It's not Elon specific.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you with his in your mouth. My job is just to cover the tech. I don't care. And any company that lies so consistently about something so expensive, I mean, look at it from this perspective. If you bought one of the first hardware 3.0 cars, where they said anything running hardware 3.0 will be full self-driving, you could be done with that car by now. And you never got it.
So someone in the chat said, hold the influencer accountable. That doesn't work if the influencer doesn't know.
How could they know?
This is that's the thing. Policy.
We go out of our way sometimes, like Secret Shopper, for example, is a situation where we are doing everything in our power to best replicate the average user's experience. It's extremely time consuming. It is extremely expensive. We have to bring in essentially actors to play the role of the customer, right? Because I can't just call up Starforge or call up Main Gear and place a purchase when I literally know or have interacted with the ownership of these companies, right? It doesn't work that way, right? So secret shopping, going incognito, can be extremely challenging, and it's not even really applicable to a situation like this, where the only reason they own the car, it's not like anybody gave them the car. The only reason they own the car is because they're a customer, And so as a customer, they are fully entitled to experience it day to day. That's another thing. This is something that you can't really review like in a week.
It's tough.
Right? So I can't just hire someone to be a Tesla full self-driving tester. And then I guess conceivably I could, but I would have to hire them to just drive the car around
or not
all over the place,
sit in car
all the time for some extended period of time incognito, and then like funnel that data back to me with no tie between the car and myself. And I'm looking at it going like, this is, you got to understand what you're asking sort of these average sort of car channel or technology channel people to do. Like, it's not
even if it's
reasonable.
Not average, even if you're a really big time car channel and have the funds to do that, is that what you really want to spend your funds doing? Is dodging their training things so they can't tell that it's you? Like, the heck? No.
Yeah, there's no way that they could possibly be responsible for it. There are due diligence things that we as, influencers or media or journalists, the people who cover this stuff and from their various angles, right? There are things that we can do to anonymize ourselves. But in this case, they had no reason to even, this is some tinfoil hat level shit here. Like, they're going through and fine tuning the roads that full self-driving works on to be better where I drive. What kind of like narcissistic asshole would you have to be to even think of that? To even think that the companies that makes the products you buy are going to fine-tune the experience just for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure somebody thought of it, but like clearly it's real, but this blew my mind.
I could see ways if depending on the compute in the car that you could have it training actively specifically for you in your area.
Yeah, but that isn't what they do, because they train the model offsite and I know. I'm just saying. Now, the next thing that I want to unpack is the fact that it is specifically tuned for the routes that Mr. Musk drives. Now, hold on.
I don't know if this is a problem. Personally.
Okay.
I can give my take and reason why.
I'm gonna take your take.
Sure.
And then I'm going to obliterate it.
Okay. Yeah. So the there's probably something negative along with this, but the first way that I read that was more based around Elon being very open and giving with the data of him driving. So he's like, whatever, train on this as much as you want. Not necessarily, I want all my routes to be perfect.
Here's my 2 reasons it's terrible. Actually, they're really one reason that it's... no, there are 2 reasons. There are 2 reasons that it's terrible. No, it's one reason. The reason...
Okay, hold on. Because think about if we did something, you would want it tested on you. All the products in LTTStore are made like for you.
Okay, but here's the problem. If you handed me a golden sample that was different from the one you give the customers,
okay.
I would be livid.
All right, yeah, fair enough. Yep.
Because you're making a fool out of me. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to sell them on the features and performance and quality, and then they're going to get something that is not what I promised. Essentially, whether you misrepresented it to cover your own hide, or whether I am, I don't know, misguided enough.
You should almost have like
to demand that
the least trained on data.
I should be the most anonymized user, so I am getting the most real experience. Now, I can understand from Tesla's perspective why they don't want his car, especially to just swerve into a telephone pole.
But if other people are going to drive in it, you should be confident enough that you're willing to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm on board now. All right.
Yeah.
Good enough.
But it was a good effort.
I tried. It's the same reason why I like having customer support close to developers.
Yeah.
Is because you need to hear and understand the daily problems of the users, because you're not going to be able to solve every single thing that comes up.
Exactly. But you shouldn't be shielded from them.
Yeah.
That is the biggest problem that I have encountered time and time again with management level people, especially in larger organizations, is the more removed they are from the day-to-day operations, the more they just don't have any chance of understanding the customer.
Yeah.
And the more misguided their product development gets. Even in an organization our size, I feel it sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm sitting there going, oh, really? And this is coming from someone who is reading your chat right now. This is coming from someone who reads comments, who also reads the daily summary, getting an outside perspective from our community coordinator, Steven, on what you guys are saying.
It feels so official to hear you call him Steven.
Chewy. I still have blind spots. And it's just inherent to getting larger. Like, I'll find out about okay, here, where's that thing? Dan, can I please have the thing? The thing you showed me before the show. The terrifying thing.
Oh, okay.
I would like it.
Oh my God.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Actually? Okay.
I just about crapped myself when I saw this.
It's not done.
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't matter.
There's actually a lot more that's going to be added.
Okay. This is the process flow.
There we go.
For the creation and publication of an LTT video.
What is it missing, Dan? It's missing.
It's missing the pre-production steps. So that red box in the center there is the entire pre-production steps when the video is planned, when it's going to be shot, where it's going to be shot, what do they need, when is the shooter assigned.
Good flipping gravy, men.
So remember when in the pre-show I pointed out how much live stream on Flowplane costs?
Yeah.
One of the questions I had the first time I saw that was, how much does that cost?
A lot, I bet.
How much does every one of those jumps take time? How much time is just in jumping that many
Every
times?
time somebody orders something, logistics has to do work. Every time somebody uses something in inventory, logistics has to do work. It's
I mean, people keep asking.
the knock-on effects.
Linus has like 100 people. How do they not have like a video immediately about everything? It's like, what percentage of them do you think work in writing? Support staff is incredibly important and so valuable and invisible to you guys in the end product. I mean, look, do yourself a favor, okay? Next time you go to a movie in the theater, first of all, give yourself a gold star for keeping that dying industry afloat. And then second of all, don't walk out when the end credits start. Watch the whole list scroll by.
It's
Obviously, we don't operate on a Hollywood level, either in terms of our budgets or...
We're not filling coliseums with water.
Or our production complications. But it should give you some idea that it's not as simple as, Linus and two of his broskies on set fooling around with computers. There's so many touch points. There's that many touch points.
And that we're not producing one at a time.
Yeah.
There's like 20 or 30.
So that chain is parallelized
30 times.
Nuts.
It is insane. It touches every single department in the company, including CW.
How we started doing that was we were looking at our...
That's just this week that I've done that.
Yeah. And that wasn't even the original task, but now it's like the clearly more important one. The original task was, okay, we have Teams, we have Slack, we have G Suite, we have Outlook, we have... people text each other, people Discord each other, people call each other on Teams, people call each other on Meet, people like...
Oh yeah, there's a bunch
Karen
of...
usually calls me on WhatsApp.
I gotta add that to the list.
Yeah, we gotta add that. So we're trying to figure out, like, what are all the communication methods at the company, and what do people even use them
Anything highly
for?
confidential, I almost always message Yvonne somewhere else. Just so you know.
As long as the somewhere else is good, then that's fine.
It's good. It's
Okay.
end-to-end encrypted.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
And I don't need that, and we don't need that in
I'm
our
just saying, I'm
checks.
adding it to your list, is that if something is like of the...
That is how it should work.
Yeah.
If you wanted recommendations, our team can
No,
give
I'm
you
good.
some,
I'm
but-
just saying it wasn't in your list, so I'm just helping.
Yeah. But so we were trying to map, what communication software do we use? How does it get used? When does it get used?
Jamie leaves Post-it notes for me.
Dear God, really?
I'm going to cry.
Well, did you see how many times the mirror in my office fell down? So he leaves Post-it notes for me every time it falls down saying, it's definitely fixed this time. And also other Post-it notes.
I mean, that's just fun. That's fine. Keep doing that. But yeah, and then this like spider web started forming, and
yeah, I mean, this has been something that I've wanted to look at for a long time.
Yeah,
and it's really interesting seeing where the potential communication breakdowns are. Because, for example, the entire editing stage is done through Teams DMs between the editor and the writer. And so if the writer is working on 4 or 5 videos simultaneously, then he's managing 4 or 5 different individual Teams DMs with 4 or 5 different editors that are in multi-stage production, right?
Things get wacky. And like some of this stuff is going to have to keep happening.
Oh, yeah.
But we need to be aware of that so that if we pick a new communication suite, it needs to be able to handle these use cases that we already have.
Something that I'm trying to find is...
so we don't break the whole company because we tried to migrate us to a different chat client.
Yeah, entry and exit points for communication.
Yes.
You want to buy a thing. Who is notified? When are you re-notified when that next step has happened, right?
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Crystal D. Fear asks, why is there a mirror in your office? It's a fair question given the state of my hair today, but in theory, I'm an on-screen talent and should probably know what I look like before.
That would be a genuinely pretty funny Flowplane exclusive. Is in the, I think it was the reviewing the best rigs that we've done over the years video. Yeah. We turned it into like a Linus hair review partway through, if you remember that.
I do.
They should actually do a like Linus's hair over the years video.
There's some pretty wild stuff
that would be killer
in the early NCIX Tech Tips days, because it would just be whatever I rolled out of bed with.
Yeah.
And it would just be...
sometimes it'd be Duke Nukem bleach blonde hair.
Yeah. There were some... as appearing on camera, like basically every day, with no schedule other than when I have time to do it, man... I've had some mondo zits. I've had some supremely bad hair days.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of questionable fashion decisions in my life. All of those are well documented. Yeah.
It is what it is.
So that's cool. I'm going and I'm looking right now. I'm going to NCIX Tech Tips here. I mean,
yeah.
I don't even know who this guy is, but don't worry about him.
Who gets the AdSense payout for this these days?
I have a theory.
Yeah.
But that's just a theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to say what my theory is,
that's
but
fine, yeah.
I have a theory, and it's not the most like up and up theory, but it's a theory, all right?
Ah.
Yeah.
Really?
I think someone's getting it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's anyone who works at NCIX.
Yeah. Well,
it isn't me. I'll say that much.
That one's good. That one's good.
This one?
No, middle left, the blonde.
Oh, lordy.
The super blonde dude.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's go.
Yeah. Here is a just got out of bed day, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
14 years ago.
I know, right? Oh, man.
What the?
Remember this cringe lizard hat?
Yeah.
So that was airbrushed for me on a like sidewalk in Victoria or something.
Nice.
Yeah. Had like a gecko on it or something. I don't know what I was thinking, you guys. That hat made a lot of appearances though. That might be it. Oh, it might be a different hat. It doesn't matter. The point is that, oh God, it's back. Anywho,
so good. The bleach blonde was a classic.
dBrand wanted to bring it back. I thought they were going to sponsor me to dye it again on the show or something. I'm down. dBrand, come at me.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big bag of money, or I'm not doing it though, because my wife is not going to be into it. Not going to be into it.
Speaking of hair stuff, how's the painting going?
Well, I told you already that I had to completely strip the wheels, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I stripped one of the wheels, which took me, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours or something like that. So I stripped one of them down to like primer / bare metal, thinking that they would be close enough that if I painted them again, not even close. So I've got to go all the way down to bare metal on that one. So I probably got to put like another hour into it. And then I'm going to have to do the other wheel. Then I'm going to have to try again. I don't think I'm riding this summer.
Oh.
But maybe that's okay because next summer. It sucks because Yvonne is finally taking some long overdue mat leave this summer. So as of last week, last week or the week before. So last week, the beginning of last week, she's not in office for the entire summer because
she's still working.
I know. I was giving her a hard time yesterday because she was like working too much. She agreed to work a day a week, but she's been doing more than that. But anyway.
Okay.
The point is, she's finally theoretically taking some long overdue mat leave because, I mean, you remember this back when our firstborn was an infant, we wisely founded a company together. And so she spent all the time that she had off from her job doing this other job, and then had to go back to her old job and effectively have 2 jobs from then until like 5 years later or something, however many years it was.
There, yeah,
somewhere in that neighborhood. And then at every point where we had a kid, she was working. And like, obviously, like, we couldn't pay her because she's not working or whatever, but she had a lot of stuff that if she didn't do it, it would, if she didn't spin those plates, they would fall and break. So she did a lot of work, even though she was also caring for an infant, which is a full-time job. And so finally, now that our second is nearing the decade mark, she's getting a summer off with the kids to hang with kids and do kid things. So thank goodness for that. That's amazing. And I forget where I was going with this. Right. She doesn't really want my hair to be blonde, I think was what I was talking about.
People are asking for mine as well. And I'm saying Valhalla for the company.
Oh.
If they pay enough, I'm down.
Okay. All right. It's going to cost double.
It will look really bad on me.
It will.
It'll look atrocious.
Oh, you're going to look awful, especially if you keep the beard.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to look like an idiot.
No one wants me to remove, so it's probably going to stay on anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, you could just do both.
You can't dye it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a completely different composition of hair. It doesn't take dye nearly as well. Like, you can do it. Like, you see people that have, like, the purple braid in the beard or whatever. Like, you can do it, but it's a lot more like pubes.
Yeah.
Where it's that really wiry...
It's hair that you get when you go through puberty, so it like literally is.
Yeah, so it's that really wiry hair, and it just doesn't take dye nearly as well.
That makes sense.
I don't know what will look stupider.
No
if
beard?
you try to dye it, or if you just don't try. Because your head hair...
It'll look bad.
You're really blonde, right? So you're gonna be like white blonde.
Yeah.
Whereas I am kind of a dirty blonde, but I tend to go more of like a yellow,
and especially because
blonde. I have more pigment in my hair.
My hair becomes a lot lighter when I spend more time in the sun, and based on my upcoming schedule, I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the sun, so it's going to be quite bright anyways.
Oh, you got some vacation coming up?
No, I just have a lot of plans to be outside.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're going to look like idiots with matching hair dye jobs.
Oh, yeah. We should wear the same shirt.
If they pay triple, is Dan going to do it too? Is Dan talking about it? Wait, he's talking about doing silver. Yeah, you can't dye your hair silver, Dan.
I was wondering, like, do we do a different color, or is it both blonde?
Oh, it has to be blonde.
All right, are you in?
I mean, it's
hell yeah.
It's 1997, baby. We should just frost the tips.
Get puka shells.
Oh man, we're gonna have to do a special edition like shirt or something like that.
It should be a
like
polo shirt.
The bro fist shirt, but like our hair's blonde. And but how do we integrate Dan though?
Dan in there.
We gotta have Dan. Should I just be in the middle going like this?
Wow.
And then we'll have a couch behind it? Wait,
As I said, I'm down.
I mean, you saw I had a fist out, right? Like, what did you think was going to be happening?
I mean...
By the way, since we're getting all erotic right now anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, so when I was touching my chest to kind of show the shirt, I have boobies now. I've been swimming. I've been swimming.
Yeah.
Probably 2 of every 3 days for the last little bit. Last night I did 1 kilometer, which is not a ton, but it's a lot more than not swimming for a kilometer.
Yeah.
And so I did.
How do you? Okay, just laps.
Yeah. So every length is about 13 meters or something like that, or whatever it works out to. So one lap is 25 meters, and I go out of my way not to push hard off the wall. Like I'll just position myself, but then I'll like swim. Check it out. I got boobies.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I can visibly see.
You gotta feel them.
Flex
you're
it.
So high. I don't know how yet.
Oh.
Oh, maybe a little. I think I can do it a little.
How do you not know how to flex your? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Well, I've never had any muscle there.
Chest muscle's weird because you don't actually really use it for like a ton of stuff.
You sure as heck use it for swimming.
Yeah,
I've been really sore, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, honestly,
Tynan, that was confusing me too. Have you never tried to flex your pecs before?
I've never had pectoral muscles to speak
gotta
of.
Be something.
Guys, back me up on this. Back me up in the chat. If you don't have, like, if you're flat chested, how do you flex a muscle that is like so underdeveloped? No idea how. We don't know. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Dude,
bringing in a bodybuilder to teach Linus how to pose would be kind of sick. If you did like bodybuilding poses for the underwear shoots.
No.
Hell yeah, dude.
I have a limit. I absolutely have a limit.
It's surprising, but it does exist.
Anyway, the reason that I like really wanted to start swimming all the time was it was prompted by that injury that I got on softball night. Because I've had these persistent rotator cuff here. I've had some persistent shoulder injuries. And so I really started doing it just more as like rehab.
Yeah.
Just working on all the different muscles that are so hard to use unless you really know what you're doing in the gym, or if you're doing a really dynamic activity like swimming. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna get in the pool and justify the bloody expense and all the work that this stupid thing has been. And so I was mostly just focused on like doing different strokes, like range of motion, and like moving around a lot. And you know what? It's been better. Softball night, the last softball night, didn't injure myself. Felt really good.
Nice.
Hit a pretty good dinger. I don't think I got a home run, but I got a triple. And it's been feeling good. And then now all of a sudden I have boobies, which is like very weird for me because I've never really had them that I can remember. Like I was in really good shape in late high school when I was really into martial arts, but I was super lean. Like I probably weighed, even though I'm the same height now, and I actually still fit into my uniform from when I was 16, which is pretty wild.
That is kind of wild.
But I weighed probably 30 less pounds.
But
I was
muscle
lean.
Is dense.
Yeah, but I
gained muscle.
I was no, but that's the thing is back then I could do 50 consecutive push-ups. Now I couldn't even. I could probably do 15, not 50. So I don't really know what's going on.
Well, if your muscles in your legs, it won't help you do push-ups. And you haven't been training your chest, you've been training badminton, which is your legs.
Yeah, I don't have a thigh gap.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can block that with muscle.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like when I was 16, I was also doing all my lifeguarding training and stuff. Like I should have been.
But you're saying that your pecs are getting stronger from swimming.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying now is your current muscle building activity is strengthening your legs mostly. So if you're putting mass in your legs, that's weight that you're pushing up when you're doing a push-up and you're not training your chest ever. And then you're trying to do 50 push-ups. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, I just mean like back then I would have thought that I would have boobies.
I bet you without a crazy amount of training, you could get back to 50.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't take me all that long, but it hurts because I'm old and my shoulders are old.
I get weird, like when I do too many.
I don't remember this.
Work that out though, it gets better with time.
The next batch of fan art is going to be epic. Oh my god.
You just have like huge chest. I had a thing where I've gotten to the point where when I get a chest pump from going to the gym and doing chest day, the seatbelt, I can look down and there's a gap when the seatbelt crosses my chest. That was an interesting moment. I was like, whoa. All right. I don't know how to feel about that. Theoretically, it's a good thing because it's a muscle chest pump. So like, It's just weird. It's a weird moment.
All right. What on earth are we supposed to be talking about? Luke, do you want to pick a topic?
Sure. Let's see here. Nobody's buying Copilot Plus for the AI. Despite Microsoft and Qualcomm's heavy marketing focus on AI features, most consumers buying Copilot Plus laptops appear to be buying them for their competitive battery life. Users also don't find these laptops' exclusive AI features like Co-Creator, Windows Studio Effects, and live captions with translation useful on a day-to-day basis. Further, many popular applications like Adobe have simply decided not to adjust their AI features so they run locally, as the vast majority of PCs sold this year will not be able to run those types of things on device anyways, so you'd be doing a bunch of development for a very small portion of users.
Yep.
Womp womp. AI stuff is interesting. AI stuff is quite powerful.
Yes.
And
it's cool.
And it's not necessarily beneficial when you just force feed it into every single thing that you make.
And the bigger issue for me is just that it's not integrated into most things. If that kind of makes sense. Like I can AI track separation. Like some of the demos that Qualcomm is doing around these Copilot Plus PCs, legitimately super cool. That track isolation DJ thing, that's awesome.
Pretty wild.
For whoever is doing their DJ work on a laptop and whoever uses that specific piece of software and whoever doesn't have access to a cleaner non-AI way of isolating that track. So we're just looking at a very, very small subset of users. And you know what? Once that is more broadly supported in applications that people are going to use, which is only going to happen once every device can support it, I could see that being part of someone's flow, and like an average user's flow. And when I say average user, I don't mean everybody. I mean an average user who would need to do that. So let's say I'm a street performer. Okay, I do performances of mainstream music at a train station, and I play the guitar track myself. Okay, super cool. I can rip the guitar in real time, essentially, out of any track that I want, and, infringement aside,
yeah,
that's super convenient.
Yeah.
But until it's broadly supported on hardware, you're not going to get broad software support. And until it's broadly supported in software, you're not really going to get any kind of market penetration. So it's a really cool demo right now, but I just don't see it. I don't see it moving the needle. Honestly, though, the bigger thing for me, the reason that I highlighted this topic for the doc in the first place, was that I just don't see how, after Qualcomm spent so much time talking about what a key point it was for Snapdragon X that they had excellent battery life, that it was a surprise to them. That was number one. That was the most important thing. I mean, everything about this platform that we've looked at has been something but battery life. Okay, the performance is solid except when it's not, but battery life.
Yeah.
Compatibility is a lot better, but is still spotty. But battery life.
How does the battery life compare to a Mac?
Solid.
Okay. I was going to say, that's the real fight here.
It's finally good. Yes.
Does it go to sleep?
Okay, that... Unfortunately, there's no meaningful way to conclusively test
and
that.
It can be really inconsistent. Like one
exactly
laptop could and the other one wouldn't. So this will be we'll have to see with saturation.
And the same laptop might sleep perfectly today, and then on Saturday I put it in my backpack, and on Monday it's a furnace in there, and I take it out and the battery's dead. And I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Very, very frustrating. But everything we've talked about with this platform has been there's compromises, but the battery life. And I think that something that... Here, hold on a second. Are we... oh, man, oh, my goodness. This is really embarrassing. Someone made a video about our our Snapdragon video, and I forget their name. Okay, anyway. Yeah. Anyway, the point that I was trying to make is that when we talked about the platform, for us, the battery life was a major focus, because the vast majority of the time that people are using their computers, they're doing something extremely light. And essentially what we want to know is how much of a drain is the processor when you can't turn the screen off. You can't turn the wireless connectivity off. Like how much is that just having the system powered on affected by the idle power consumption of the processor in it? And as it turns out, on these devices, it's really, really good. And everything else is usable enough. I mean, it's not perfect. When we did our game stream, we went through, I think somewhere between 30 and 40 games, I think. We made it through a lot of games. This is a long stream. It's like 3 or 4 hours. But we made it through a lot of games.
Work?
Oh, no. Heavens, no. Now, some we knew weren't going to work, but there were lots of others that were broken in creative ways. There was one where Spider-Man, the hair physics were just wild. Every hair on only better modeled characters, like main characters, was like sticking out and like physicsing around like this. Like it was hilarious.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. But, you know, our perspective on this product was that we understand that it's first gen. We understand what people are buying it for. And no, we don't think that people are buying it to, architect a building,
whatever. Yeah.
We don't think that people are buying it to use specialized applications on it. We think that people are buying it to essentially do most of what they do in a web browser and get really, really great battery life out of it. And in that context, it's a major success. And honestly, I think some of the negative discourse around the Snapdragon X launch has been from Qualcomm just overpromising.
Yeah.
They should have just said, compatibility is still a challenge.
Really headstrong.
Too much.
Yeah.
And I do understand why they were confident. It's a good product. But just letting other people beat the drum of positivity would have been better than doing it themselves. That's, I think, the big mistake that they made, if I could identify one.
At risk of sounding too positive to Apple, I think people were maybe a little bit more hopeful about this launch because the M series, like MacBooks, that launch went so well.
It had issues.
Yeah.
But it was really smooth.
It was really smooth.
But the expectations are so different.
What I'm saying is I think that set the expectations higher.
Oh, I just mean the expectations of a Mac user are so different. I could do a lot of what I need to do on a Mac by never stepping outside of first-party Apple software.
Yeah.
And so it's a really different ecosystem. And I use that word in a non-disparaging way. It's a very different ecosystem than what exists on Windows, where you've got all these disparate developers and you've got all these kind of eras during which their applications were created, all these expectations of support across different hardware. It's a real challenge. Honestly, maybe that's part of it too for me, is the fact that it's as good as it is. I'm just really impressed.
Right.
Because I didn't hope that Windows on ARM would ever gain traction. But it's very clear that it's happening now.
I'm still holding out hope that framework RISC processor laptop is going to be sick.
We've got a really long topic kind of on the call out on our Snapdragon X Elite video. And honestly, I'm kind of looking at a lot of it going like, I don't think we need to delve into this.
Just go read the comment.
Yeah, we published a full response on the video, which has been posted on a couple of subreddits, including our own. You guys can go check it out there. But there is some discussion here. Some of the discussion is like how much testing is enough to come to a conclusion. I wanted to include more in the video, but the reason that we didn't include more was because the methodology wouldn't have been up to our standards. There were things that we tested that we didn't include because they weren't repeatable enough, and it's a brand new platform, and that comes with challenges. So the discussion question here is, like, should we include janky testing in our review videos if we disclaim them as such? Like, one of the things that I was upset about when I arrived on set, because this was a rare video that, because of other obligations, was mostly worked on by other members of the team. Usually I'm pretty deeply involved. But on this one, I arrived on set after having had conversations about how we were going to do it, and I discovered that we hadn't followed through on any kind of thermal testing. And the answer that was given to me was, well, we don't have reliable diode data. And I kind of went, well, what I would have liked to see is at least, a thermal camera pointed at a tape strip across, two price comparable, performance comparable notebooks from Qualcomm and Intel or AMD, where we kind of look at, surface temperature. Make it meaningful to me, the user, even if we can't draw a conclusion about exactly what the thermal draw is, what the power draw is, and therefore the thermal output. And that was something that, there was some debate about. By then it was sort of, too late to do much more than, just a mention, if anything. But, that's something that maybe we need to philosophically re-examine. Like, are we willing to do kind of janky tests as long as we say, like, look, this is what they are? And I see it both ways. Like, going back to the roots of LTT, I don't know if you remember this video. I'm pretty sure we worked on it together. But there was this screen protector film, like a paint-on screen protector that claimed to create like a nano coating over the glass that made it scratch-proof, even though you painted it on. And the test that we came up with...
wasn't it like dragging it behind your bike?
Yeah, I dragged it down the street with the screen facing down on the phone behind my motorcycle.
I'm pretty sure I'm running after you with a camera or something.
Yeah. And you know what? That's not scientific at all. But what was cool was we were able to pick it up and kind of scratch at the thing and go, oh yeah, there is a coating on here, even though we couldn't see it. And it's something. But we've also kind of evolved beyond that. And I can see the argument the other way, that if we can't stand behind it, especially in light of how much scrutiny there has been on us, if we can't stand behind it 100%, are we better off saying nothing? But then we don't say anything, and we get attacked for hiding things.
I don't think you are.
Like, what are you even talking about?
I think you just need to make it clear what the level of confidence is, basically.
Yeah, except the top upvoted comment on the discussion around this is that our graphs are already unintelligible to the average person. Our graphs are just bar graphs. If we start adding error bars, like, that's the thing.
Are they that bad?
No, they're not. That's the thing that very scientific-minded people don't realize sometimes, I think, is if you start asking for, confidence intervals.
Well, okay, to be clear, I think in order to do that, it would have to appear very differently. I don't think it would have to be a label on a graph. I think you would have to present the information, not even on a graph necessarily, to communicate without words even, but you should probably also do it with words, that this is not to the same level of professionalism as the other information.
How much of our video, look, I don't want to start publishing 60-minute video essays about the merits of some stupid processor.
You're the one that wanted the lab.
It's really interesting to me to see the way my words get twisted against me. We strive to be entertaining. That doesn't mean that we're an entertainment channel. We're still a tech channel where a lot of people have unironically learned a lot about technology. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to compromise on making content that's good.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm entertained.
Because to me,
it's an entertainment channel.
For anything to be good, it has to be at least digestible. It has to be over a certain bar of entertainment value. And so, no, I don't want to spend 3 minutes on disclaimers, Luke.
Sorry, Runjun in Floatplane chat just said, do the graph in crayon. And I actually love it. It communicates pretty well, but you could even like do it digitally so that it's like fairly clean crayon, but still make it obvious like it's supposed to look like a piece of paper with crayon drawn on it. Sorry, you're like all eloquently talking about trying to communicate with an audience and the perception of the channel and stuff, and I'm crayons.
I hate you all.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. Sifrin says, the latest AMD video is one of the better videos I've seen. I think I may have aged out of a lot of the videos now. Still enjoy WAN Show, though.
Nice.
I'm glad you do. Honestly, that
Based
AMD video
viewer.
is not the kind of thing that I want to make, though.
This Ryzen video, the most recent one?
Like, I'm tired of being angry.
Yeah.
Like, maybe in future we don't make that video. I'd like to find a brighter side. I'd like to, you know what I want to finally do? Little tech shop of horrors. We've talked about this a lot of times. Why don't we like actually open an IT shop? Just fucking do it.
People are going to troll you so hard.
We make videos.
It might be worth it. Might be good for content, but people are going to troll you so hard.
I think that we'd probably...
You're going to compete with, what's his name?
Keith from Black Lab.
This guy charged me so much money. You can open... How much of that stuff do you still have left? Do you have any of it left?
We still have all of it.
Just put it in the store. You have a storefront already. You don't even have to buy the convincingly dusty old junk. You have the convincingly dusty old junk.
Oh my God.
There you go. There's your legitimacy.
I don't know, man. Like I want to reconnect with, excitement and fun. And like, I'm tired of being mad and cranky about, this branding or that FPS that's 6% lower.
It's so boring to me personally. I find it incredibly exhausting. Any new thing that I get interested in, I go to try to find the internet community around this thing because I'm like looking for more information or whatever.
And they're always just...
Every single time it's just hatred and anger, and I'm just like, I don't want to be here anymore. This sucks.
I talked about this in writers' meeting today, and just like... Or I didn't talk about this specific part today, but I've talked to the writers about this, about just wanting to be an oasis of positivity and optimism. And we're not going to be dishonest. Obviously, if something's bad, then we're going to say it's bad.
If you're reviewing something, you got to be legit about it.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to be more selective about what we cover, and I want to cover things that I think are cool.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I think that'd be neat. I'm down with that. You got to be negative sometimes. Because, like you said, you can't be dishonest about things. But I don't know. I find it exhausting. Hate gets views. People just the whole doom scrolling nature of just like you go on the internet to get mad and stay mad. It's just like
I also think that cynicism is part of no offense to whoever said they had outgrown our videos. I think that cynicism is part of why you might feel that way. Like,
one of my problems is I don't watch our stuff.
I think it makes it hard to enjoy anything.
Do you feel like that negativity is a theme on the channel right now? I don't watch. I don't know.
No, but that's exactly it. And I think that it's easy to.
But then is this really a change then?
I think that we can do more. I guess is what I'm trying to say, because even the things that you look at, like what we've done over the last little bit, like this we did because we felt it was really important. AMD bucked a trend that has existed basically forever, where the first number indicates the generation of the product. That to me is unacceptable. Do you know about this?
Wait, what? No.
So their mobile chips will no longer use the first number to indicate how new the product is. That will be the fourth number now.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's worth making a video about. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You still got to do that kind of stuff sometimes.
Yeah, but then this is just working with the kids to fix the gaming minivan. This is checking out an ancient keyboard that we found a picture from the Chernobyl disaster that had this exact keyboard in it. And so Ariel from the lab got it working again, like he did with that weird Soviet mouse. Nice. This is something maybe we just shouldn't have covered. So it gets pretty deep into the weeds on what a dual mode monitor is. And maybe we should just leave that for someone else to explain, because to me, it's not that exciting. I think that most people probably don't need it. Do you know what it is? It's basically a monitor with 2 EDIDs.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that essentially, as far as we can tell, no scaler can handle 480 hertz refreshes at 4K, even at the panel level, because like obviously no input can handle that anyway. So at the panel level, they can't do it. So it has to run in 2 different modes. It has to run in a 480 hertz 1080p mode or a 240 hertz 4K mode in order for both of them to work natively, essentially. And like, yeah, maybe that just isn't 11 minutes and 46 seconds worth of interesting, and we just shouldn't have bothered. Like, this was fun. Just building the CEO computer with that like wild, sinister case. This was really fun. Checking out this hard drive with 25 million computer viruses on it.
Why did you make me build this computer in that thumbnail? Looks like one of the toys from Toy Story that was like ripped apart and put together by that kid. I don't know why it made me think of that, but yeah, I don't know. I think trying to bring positivity when you can is a nice thing to do on the internet, because it's just...
Yeah, see, this is tough. Like, Unique Username says, that whole AMD video is the least interesting thing you uploaded on the main channel in recent months. Marketing is BS, always has been, always will, so what? Well...
It's like awareness of a bad practice, though. I respect making that video, like even if it doesn't perform that well.
I mean, yeah, fine, but then, so if nobody says that, right, like, isn't that my job? What is my job, then? Tell me.
On like a very technical level, it's just to like get more views, but I don't think we've ever seen it that way, and that's why you've always resisted VC funding, so that you can keep dictating what you do. And I think what you would probably say you do is like entertaining education about computers and computer hardware and electronics.
Igniting sparks is the way that I like to sort of characterize it.
It's always fun when you go to like a show or a convention or something, and you're meeting audience members, and they tell you about how like you inspired them or your channel. A lot of people tell me that the channel did, and I'm like, yeah, cool, that makes sense. To like go to school for computer engineering, software engineering, whatever else. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool meeting and Munition and her being like, yeah, you like taught me how to build a computer. I was like,
yeah, like that's sick. Yeah, that's super cool.
That stuff's super cool. Be passionate about your interests and bring us along. I mean, yeah, maybe that's a mission statement for the channel from Run Jun over on Floatplane.
I like that. That's good. Good job, Run Jun.
Yeah, like, and you know what? We've sidetracked some of the stuff that I'm really passionate about because various reasons. It's a lot of work, or we're not sure how many people are interested. But like, maybe I should just say, you know what? Forget it. We're making a video about stereoscopic 3D projection in 2024.
You've always been on the 3D stuff.
Look. Okay, look. Stop.
You carrying that much, though, in my opinion, is a pretty good reason to do it, I think.
Here's why it's cool. Stop. What a f***ing asshole.
I'll be a good boy.
Here's why it's cool. Okay? 3D Blu-rays still get released for the... Yes, they do.
What?
Yes. You can get like Despicable Me, at least 3. Hold on, let's see. Despicable Me 4 3D... Or wait, is that one not out yet? Yeah. So you can get the most recent Despicable Me in 3D. Despicable Me 4 is probably coming in 3D, according to this post on forum.blu-ray.com.
Despicable Me 3 is from like 7 years ago.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Tynan said in Flowplane chat, if the host is interested, people are way more likely to be interested. If you are interested in talking to somebody about it, it's highly likely they'll become interested. I do generally agree with that. One of the problems is getting people to click on it at all.
Okay, new Blu-ray 3D releases this year. Creature from the Black Lagoon 3D came out in March of 2024. Okay? 3D Blu-rays are still coming.
So there has to be some type of a market because technically some of them are being released.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, so that's something. Okay. Number 2, last year, so not CES of this year, but CES of the previous year, we made a video that got buried because of some dispute between Asus and NVIDIA over what could or couldn't be disclosed about the laptop. Let me just put it this way.
Yeah.
Anyway, the laptop had a stereoscopic 3D screen on it. It was super, super cool. It was the first justification that I've ever seen of a 4K screen on a laptop. It used eye tracking to change the perspective of every other eye so that every other line was going to the right and every other line was going to the left. And it was glasses-free 3D. And it could like steer so you could move your head around and it wouldn't break the 3D effect. It was really incredible. Anyway, one of the demos that they were showing was like a middleware of some sort, like some app that you can run that converts non-stereo 3D games to 3D. And so what if you could build like a king tier stereo 3D gaming setup in 2024? Okay, all right. Well, you know what? Whatever. I'm doing it.
Yeah, do it.
I'm doing it. I can already tell you, sourcing a 3D compatible screen, not easy these days. Sourcing the polarizing filters, not easy these days. Getting a 3D compatible projector is pretty doable because pretty much any DLP will work pretty well. Unfortunately, not my Epson LS12000. I have already tested it. And this is going to be at least a 2-part series, darn it, because...
So I know AJ's in the chat. I know today, AJ, we talked about many things that we need to do. But at the top of that list, I think you need to make it so that Flowplane live streaming is 3D compatible so that we can see how much we can make that cost.
Okay. And reason number 3 is that with VR headsets becoming somewhat mainstream-ish, I believe there's going to be
a 3D content resurgence.
Wow. With iPhones being capable of recording spatial video. I think there's actually going to be a lot of content to watch there. Got him. I didn't really get him. He's not convinced, but it'll be cool. And I don't think we're gonna.
What if you have like some form of like a time budget for like just passion project content every once in a while?
I just think it should just all be passion project.
All right.
Let's just do away with the stuff that's like boring.
Yeah.
And so you know what this is going to manifest as? If a new CPU comes out and we don't care, we're just not going to cover it.
Yeah.
Which is going to be, I think, a bit of an adjustment. And we've already kind of done it, if you think about it. It wasn't really on purpose.
I think you started with GPUs, yeah?
Intel's 14th gen.
Oh.
We just didn't.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of testing on it. And in the long term, we would love for the lab's website to have charts and everything so you can like know how it performs or whatever. But it was pretty obviously just 13th gen in 14th clothing. And we did a bunch of testing on it. And then it turned out that there was some kind of like microcode update or the BIOS we were using on the particular board we used. Anyway, we had to like retest. So then we did that, but then it was past the embargo. And then we were like, do we even want to bother with this? And while we were humming and hawing, we had the new data, and then Intel released like some software utility that like core steers and improves gaming performance or something, which was exclusive to that generation and was not going to go to 13th gen, even though there was no architectural reason why they couldn't. And then that came out and we were like, okay, so we're going to have to test this a third time for some boring video that no one cares about. And then a little while later, they made that application available to past gen processors in their own lineup. So we would have had to like go and retest those. And we were sitting here going, does anyone forget it? Like, yeah, forget it. So yeah, I think just a chart on a website is going to be the answer in the longer term, and you'll still see them appear in videos. We needed the best CPU at 300 watts, so or whatever,
or for like this game or this application,
or for this particular game, and so that's why we chose this. We're building a
computer into a van again, and the little man likes to play this particular game, so this station needs to be good at this.
Yeah. That sort of thing. So you'll still see it make its way into the content, but I think that we're gonna stay focused on what we actually want to do. Like, okay, I want to do a convection cooled computer.
Cool.
Yeah, for the theater room.
I'd click on that immediately.
Yeah.
Sick.
So why are we spending a bunch of Justin's time doing something no one cares about, when instead we can like take that idea that someone had on Reddit of like cooling a GPU with like a giant copper chunk, which by the way isn't going to work, but like make a cooler for a GPU that like is like this wide and just takes passive airflow and just convection cools it. That'd be way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of the lab, man, it is pretty exciting to see it finally starting to come into its own. There was a Reddit thread just appreciating the lab. And the thing is that not everyone is going to agree with every methodology, which is why we have always said, guys, that you want multiple perspectives. Some people are going to look at our 720p YouTube endurance test and they're going to go, well, that's not representative. And it's like, well, yeah, it's representative of what we want to know, which is in a best case scenario, which is functionally like idling, but you can't turn off any radios, you can't turn off the screen, everything's in motion. What is the absolute longest that something could last? That's what we want to know. So for what we want to know, that's a good test, but someone else might want to know something else, which is why multiple perspectives are so important and why it's not just one single truth.
Especially
and
for
it never
something
can be
as varied and complicated as a laptop.
Exactly.
There's so many different reasons why someone might care.
So this was a really cool thread to see from Disaster84. Labs is pretty great. So they finally made their way over to the page. And, I was looking at it going, I feel exactly the same way. It is super cool to see content starting to regularly appear on the site, not because millions of people are reading every one of these, but because people are getting really important information.
Well, we still haven't even technically full launched the site.
This power supply, the power supplies that we're testing are alternating, so you'll actually notice there's a pattern. Every other one is from a major brand, and every other one is from a brand that, or a model that appears to be selling very well based on the external data that we can glean from marketplace websites like Amazon and Newegg and wherever else. So that's why you're seeing half of them be kind of random. We have already found 3 power supplies that failed our testing outright across 2 different samples. So this Sama one is another example. People are spending $100 on this power supply on Newegg and Amazon. Both of our units failed during our 20 degrees Celsius OCP test. If your overcurrent protection isn't working, that's a big problem. And so seeing the labs already starting to bring this information to people is so exciting to me.
Can you go back to that Sama power supply?
Yeah.
I was sitting here just rather surprised. I don't do product reviewing and stuff anymore, so I don't know. But I saw all the text under the bad, and my eyes suck, so I couldn't read it. But you were saying it failed.
Yeah.
I thought this was a Seasonic power supply. Look at the logo.
I know, right?
You said Sama, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
It makes more sense to me when you said that.
Look at this sketchy 80 plus platinum looking 10-year warranty.
10-year warranty?
Yeah, so they kind of make it look like, yeah, right?
They make it look like a Seasonic Platinum.
The logos are like identical, but reversed?
Yeah, that's rough, man.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's reversed.
Casper Explorer goes...
Just a Z versus...
I thought, apparently it says Platinum 10 plus. Yeah, whatever that means.
What?
Oh, no, 10-year. Oh, I don't know. No, I don't know. Here, let me see what it says.
That's rough, though.
Yeah, here.
I wonder
so they put like a platinum looking thing, 10-year warranty next to the 80 plus gold. Yeah.
80 plus gold is good.
Anyway. Yeah, anyway. Casper Explorer says, I thought Sama was good. Well, that's the point. That's the point of the lab. That's the answer to why we're spending all this time building this thing.
I don't like that.
So we're gonna keep doing it, but I think I want LTT to be fun, and you can get the bad news in a manageable, bite-sized way that doesn't have to be what you like. Sit down on the couch and relax to watch. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we're supposed to do some merch messages. Oh man, we've got some exciting stuff to tell you guys about store-wise. Oh, I see some of you found it. There's been some merch messages today. Neat. WAN Show exclusive. Lime Day is coming. You guys are going to want to sign up on the store. Go do it now. Up to 60% off select items every day, July 16th to 19th. So that's coming next week, guys. Sign up so you can get first dibs, because a lot of these deals are going to be extremely limited quantities. And based on how many people are on the newsletter already, they're going to sell really, really fast. So make sure you're on it. Anyway, we're previewing one of our Lime Day deals. You can see it in our favorites. It's exclusive during the broadcast and maybe shortly afterward for early VOD viewers. But we're doing a screwdriver bundle where you can get the full-sized black screwdriver and the full-sized and the stubby-sized black screwdriver. I don't believe we have ever discounted these models before like this. For $30 off. So you can go ahead and add that to cart and leave a merch message. The way merch messages work, and they are the way to interact with the WAN Show. We don't do super chats or Twitch bits or anything like that. You just add an item to your cart, and you'll see a little box in your cart when we're live, and you can leave a merch message, which will pop up down here, or it'll go to producer Dan, who will reply to it, or forward it to someone internally who can answer your question, or it'll go to me and Luke to talk about. Dan, do you want to show these fine folks how merch messages work?
Sure, absolutely. Let's see. Dear Messieurs Sebastian and Large Friendly Bear and Bus Bar, sure. Any plans for a water bottle lid with a relief valve so that we can chug with abandon without water spilling it on our face?
Not yet.
Let's see. Hey, DLL, I started watching your ancient live streams archives and the very first WAN show. Linus said that sound cards are a must compared to motherboards' onboard audio. Is this true for modern motherboards?
No.
Nope.
Are those the shortest 2 consecutive merch message answers
I feel
ever?
like we owe him another one.
I never know which way it's going to go. It's either going to be... I've given you some that I think you're going to say no to, and then you talk for 20 minutes, and then some other ones which I think are going to be bangers, and then no.
I'll tell you what, Dan.
Yeah.
Why don't you answer that last one? Is a sound card a must?
No. Doesn't.
Alrighty then. See you later.
Use your AirPods.
All I'll say about it is that I miss it mattering.
Yeah, man, 3D accelerated sound effects.
It was fun getting like Zonar cards and like, I don't know. It was cool.
And
you could do things that were neat.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You can still get pretty into the weeds on USB DACs and amps and stuff.
And I have a USB DAC.
If you're,
but like,
even those have gotten kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like you can get something that's good enough. You can get a good enough combo unit for $100, and I feel like a lot of the advancement in the last 5 years, anyway, has been just like chasing new preferred tonalities. Like it's more fashion and less actually trying to achieve accuracy. Like everything post ODAC, as far as I can tell, is just like, or O2 or whatever it was, that one that was like, yeah, this is good enough, and it was like $130 or something like that. And yes, in our pursuit of perfection, I'm sure there's stuff that's better now, but I just don't care.
I'm still using my like Mayflower O2.
Yeah.
Like 2013.
Yeah.
It works.
And it's fine.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, DLL, I recently hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, but I'm worried about maintaining long-term success with my channel or whether I should get a normal job after I graduate university next year. Any advice?
I really wonder what they do.
It's hard. Long-term success looks like a lot of different things to a lot of different people. At 100,000 subs on YouTube, depending on what kind of content you do, that is very easily monetizable to the point where you don't have to work another job if you don't want to. I shouldn't say easily. That is possible. However, what you have to consider is that in order to monetize a YouTube channel, you are effectively adding another job for every way that you intend to do that. So people will tell you, oh yeah, you can sell merch. If you just put your logo on a t-shirt, that's not going to get you very far. If you develop products and market them and support them, well, guess what? You just started a company, essentially, right? So you've got to kind of ask yourself what the YouTube channel is to you. Is it a creative outlet and something that you want to do for fun? Is it something that you want to pour your life into? You've already done the hardest part. The first 100,000 subscribers is by far the hardest part of what you're doing. But that doesn't mean that because you've done the hardest part, you will magically have unlimited future success. I talk often about how everyone succumbs to the curve, which is the waxing and waning of interest from the audience. And sometimes it's you. Sometimes you changed. Sometimes it's them. Sometimes they change. Sometimes it's factors beyond any of your control.
If you're in, there's also niches like YouTube niches that you could be in where 100,000 subscribers will not sustain you because the CPMs on it are incredibly low. You won't get any sponsors on it, et cetera, et cetera. But
or if
there are other ones.
Yeah, like finance YouTube. Apparently there's been a lot of controversy over there lately.
Oh, really?
I don't know. It doesn't really surprise me
Controversy
because
on all the YouTube.
Anywhere you're making the kinds of CPMs that I see like finance tubers making, whatever service that is making so much money that they got to be getting it from somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's probably the users.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that's reasonable. But yeah, my favorite one is engaged, enthusiastic, professional niche. Because when you combine those things, that audience is like more likely to do things like external platform funding, more likely to do things like merch purchasing. Whew, tough day. And also, yeah, like become a member of your channel, like support your channel directly. So you could stay relatively small. And as long as you're giving these people content that help their job or are just interesting to them, that's an audience that is more likely to support you. The conversion rates and finances of some of these channels that fit that description are amazing when they're getting, around 100,000 subscribers, but this is paying them way more than a full-time job could at that time because their niche fits that little category.
But never change your niche to just chase money.
You have to do the thing that you're interested in and good at. Yeah,
I am aware of other verticals that pay far more than tech.
Oh, yeah.
Why am I in tech?
Because that's what we do.
That's what I do. It's like if I wasn't sitting here talking to Luke about what's happened in tech this week on the WAN Show, we'd be hanging out at the office. I don't know, where would we work? Where would we work that we would work together? What's our hypothetical company that we work at together today, if it isn't this one?
Huh.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
That is actually a tough one. Have you thought about what you would do if it wasn't this?
Well, I mean, there's the like what I would have done. Like I was interested in pursuing a career as a teacher until I dropped out of university, and therefore that was not an option anymore.
So you'd be like product management maybe.
I think that I could have gotten into a non-certified teaching role of some sort. I shouldn't say non-certified. I mean, like, I have my certification to teach swimming lessons.
Is that what you would have wanted to do at that point in time, though? Because that a thing you would have been interested in pursuing in 2014.
Well, the thing is that we have to pick something that I'm interested in pursuing that isn't tech. And so the only thing I lived and breathed.
Oh, wait, so it can't be tech at all? I thought it meant tech YouTube.
No. No, it's not tech.
Then there's like no way.
Like, we're at some non-tech company, like talking about we're around the water cooler at some place. I don't know. I could easily still be at the pool. Maybe I'd be a supervisor. Maybe I would train lifeguards. I could have seen myself.
That'd be kind of cool.
Just continuing, because I
think you would have liked that too.
I'm always looking to move up, and it was clear that they needed some help. I remember doing my WSI training, and
we would not have done that together.
Having the so WSI is water safety instructor. So I was learning to be a swimming lessons instructor, and I got into an argument with not just the instructor of our course. For some reason, the one who teaches people to teach WSI was teaching us, because she was being shadowed by a bunch of new WSI instructors. So we had like the head honcho of like training WSI, and I got into an argument with her because she was saying, because we did this
sounds so on brand.
So she did a demo for us that was intended to demonstrate how shocking it can be to be thrown into an unfamiliar environment, even if you functionally know how to deal with it. And the example was ice water, right? Which can cause you to forget to breathe. It can cause muscle tenseness and cramps. It can cause some real challenges if it's not something that you're ready for. And it was part of like a conversation on just like being ready for anything when you're and teaching people to kind of be ready for unfamiliar situations. And so she had us like plunge our arms, I think, just like into ice water. And she was like, yeah, and because of the ice, it's even colder than 0 degrees. And I was like, actually, it's exactly 0 degrees. And she was like, no, it's lower. There's ice in it. And I was like, look, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm in grade 10 science, and it's definitely exactly 0 degrees. And she basically like shut me down in front of the whole class and was like, you're stupid and don't interrupt me when I am explaining important scientific concepts. And hey, thanks, Deanna. Good job. That's actually not how that works. It was exactly 0 degrees. But anyway, the point is that
It's not salt water, guys.
Yeah, no, guys, it was... Relax. It was fresh water, okay?
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is that I could have seen myself, after having an experience like that, wanting to move up the ranks and improve the quality of training so that it has accurate information.
Extremely on brand.
Like that wasn't the only dumb thing. Yeah. Oh my God, GFreak01. Okay, do you guys need a science class? Okay.
What is your consistency of brine? Remember, they're Americans.
Guys, once it has reached equilibrium, okay? When there is a phase change, okay? Until the substance has completely changed phase, and we're talking about water specifically in this case. I'm not talking plasma or anything complicated, okay? We are talking gaseous, solid, liquid phase changes, okay? So going between a solid and a liquid, as it melts from solid to liquid, it is that liquid is at a constant temperature, and it is not until all the solid has become liquid that it can begin rising in temperature again. I forget exactly the technical term for it, but if you have a bucket of ice water, it is at 0 degrees, barring any salt or impurities or whatever the case may be. Yes, the core of that ice cube could be lower than 0 degrees. And at the very surface of that water, or at a point where you're touching the side of the bucket, the water molecules nearest that could be a little higher than 0 degrees. But by and large, that heterogeneous mixture of water and ice is 0 degrees. If you don't think so, it sucks to suck.
Go test it.
Yeah, you
It'd
could
be
do
fun.
that.
Little science experiment.
All right.
Yeah.
Jeez, guys.
Heterogeneous, Elijah. Okay.
Man, I'm reminded of that awful video that we did where we tried to explain that when your CPU is running at a lower temperature, that does not mean that your computer is kicking out less heat. And just like how angry people were. Half of people were angry that I was explaining something that was so fucking obvious, and the other half were angry that I was saying that a lower temperature CPU means that it's the same amount of heat because they didn't understand it.
Thermodynamics hard.
Yeah. Anyway. Cool. Now it's time to do the ton of feathers versus ton of steel one. Yeah, exactly. I fell for that one when I was in high school. My dad pulled that one on me. He goes, "What's heavier, a pound of feathers or a pound of bricks?" And I go, "Pound of feathers," or a pound of bricks rather. And he's like, "No, they're both a pound." Dirt. And I was like, but the air resistant.
The packaging required to keep the feathers on the scale
Yeah, exactly.
resulted in it weighing more.
Linus hates hot dogs. Yeah, exactly. What are we supposed to be doing? Oh, right. We did a couple of merch messages.
Oh, that would mean the feathers are less.
Yeah, it doesn't. It
Because
doesn't
if the
matter.
scale says a pound and there's packaging around it.
Oh my God, it doesn't matter.
You got about 6 minutes till sponsors. You could do another quick topic. Up to you.
Delmain says the best answer to that is the feathers, because you have to live with the weight of what you did to all of those birds.
I think I've heard that before. It's pretty good though.
Did it involve a brick?
Ooh. No.
As a bird lover, he's very uncomfortable right now.
Leave the bird alone. Nice.
You dunk them in the -1 degree water. What if the water in the bucket was outside though?
You can have -1 degree water.
Yeah.
Have you seen those like bottles of water in the freezer that you bring out and then they freeze as soon as you disturb them? Yeah.
So cool.
Typical engineering mindset answer. Tynan goes, that would be a horrible way to get feathers from a bird. Very inefficient.
Have you not seen the
Yeah, that's the problem, Tynan. That's the problem with that.
Well, they have those water bucket tumbling things.
It is,
No, like legitimate. Like,
is that a thing?
yeah, you get the feathers off of it.
Wow.
It comes full circle.
Yeah, all right, cool. What are we... Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about some pretty
a -1 degree
exciting...
water bucket tumbling thing.
I wanted to talk about exciting things. Okay. Lime Days...
Xbox
apparently...
Game Pass increase? Is that an exciting thing?
Apparently I have a couple more deals to preview.
Oh.
3D Down Jacket is going to have a great deal during Lime Day. We're also going to have an amazing bundle deal featuring the Circuit Desk Pad right when Lime Day starts on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. You are not going to want to miss this one, so if you're watching WAN Show now, you have a heads up. It's going to be limited quantity, so be ready. The deals are going to rotate every day, though, so make sure you check back every day during the event. And sign up to be notified. Dan's going to put the QR code so you guys can sign up to be notified. Okay, the last thing is we have been working...
I had my mic muted. I just make those sounds.
Okay.
I said boop.
Oh.
I thought everybody heard it, so
No.
I didn't know.
Don't laugh at me. Look, it's all made.
So Lime Day, don't miss it. Okay, hold on. Don't move the graphic. Don't move the graphic. When they come back, I want them to see the thing.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you guys are still up there in the corner.
Here you go. Oh,
A little bit. Like, let me,
well, Cat's out of the bag now.
There you go.
Or should I say under the brick?
Did anyone see it? They might not have seen it. Cat's out of the brick.
Oh, Jesus.
I said under the brick.
That's worse.
I thought that was an old but still checks out reference. But
All right.
I guess not.
We have been working, Dan, you can cut to us, on an anti-static PC building mat for the past year in collaboration with ModRite, the creators of the original and patented ModMat. Our goal was to provide a safe anti-static work surface, like the kind that everyone tells you you're supposed to use, but as a price that doesn't take away too much from your PC building budget. So with that being said, we are going to be selling the LTT ModMat for $59.99. It's 4 feet long by 2 feet wide, so plenty of room for whatever you're working on. It has visual references. Oh, here, actually, should we go, let's go Linus Cam for a change.
Is this a final version?
No.
Do you want me to hold it up for you?
Maybe. Okay. Tons of useful charts and info. It also looks super cool. Here, we're just going to go to the wide cam because this thing is enormous. It's dual layered. So the top layer is dissipative, providing electrical isolation between any 2 points on the mat. The bottom layer is more conductive, allowing for dissipation to the common ground point, which is one right there, and one in the top right. It is heat resistant, so bending tubes will be no problem here above it. And it has a textured surface that prevents screws from sliding around while being easy to clean. It has an anti-slip bottom, but actually I want to back up and say easy to clean again, because this is one of the big innovations. Luke, go ahead and have a seat. And Dan, do you want to move the Luke cam to point at the table next to him where his headphones are? Compared to competing products, we are extremely proud of what we've managed to do with ease of cleaning. And Luke's going to do a live demo, which never goes badly on the WAN Show, where he is going to spill thermal paste on the ModMat and successfully clean it up. So Dan's going to aim at the table down there, and you're just going to kind of move your stuff, get your stuff the heck out of the way. There's a few changes that we're going to be making to it.
Is this a final version, though?
No, we're adding some more elaboration to the screw guide. That's something that a lot of people ask about. It's like, what screw do I use for this or for that? So we've got little visual representations of all of them, as well as what they're most commonly used for. We've got thermal paste layouts. Since we did this one, the RAM guide that you guys are looking at, that's right by my hand, you've already got the version that has LP Cam and Cam 2 on it, but we've added separate ones for ECC.
Oh, neat.
For DIMMs and SODIMMs, along with color coding where all the notches are. We've got all the different M.2 sizes, different radiator sizes, different fan sizes. The fan dots, see there, like the little guide for where you put it down, those are color coded so that it's really clear that you're lined up with the right ones on the new one. We also have a fan thickness chart now that they aren't all 25 millimeters thick. Yes, we've got the Ethernet pinouts, right? I double checked that personally.
No, I was looking at the texture. You can see it better in the like colorful printed.
Dan, are you in position?
Yeah. So
okay.
Where your finger is, right there.
So Luke, I'm gonna make a mess.
You're gonna glob it?
I'm gonna make a mess.
Oh boy. Do I get isopropyl or something? How am I supposed to clean this? Oh wow. So you just missed. Oh wow. I was gonna say you just missed the CPU completely, but then you also just rubbed it in.
There you go, buddy.
Have you guys done this?
I haven't.
I can't believe you've done this. Okay.
Actually, can I have that cloth for a sec?
Sure.
My finger has a lot of thermal compound on it now, and I would like to type on my laptop. Here you go.
All right.
Should I punch in a bit more?
Sure.
Maybe digitally?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see what I can do about that.
I see why Tynan's in the chat today. Testing these was fun.
This?
To be honest. Tynan has done a lot of work on this project. Tatiana did a lot of work determining exactly the perfectest, most bestest of materials for us to use. I'm actually really, really excited about this product. It's finally an affordable. Whoops, wrong one. Luke Cam.
That was so close.
Sorry. There you go.
Okay, you gotta not switch it right when I'm going for the first
Well,
wipe.
I was trying to switch it to the one right as you were going for the first wipe. I was on the wide. Okay, go for it.
I guess, away from the camera.
Yeah, you're gonna have to work at it. There's a lot there, Luke.
I don't know. I haven't done this before.
You better be able to clean it.
You might need more ISO.
Yeah, Tynan says you might need some more ISO. I put a lot on.
Yeah, that was you really messed up. You dropped like a Threadripper upside down.
Look, guys, this wouldn't be a live WAN Show demo if I didn't make it like
way harder,
far worse than it had to be. Love it. So we finalized the graphics probably, let me think, 2 days ago. I went through and I did the last revision of changes to, I think I found something that was not an error, but a little bit hard to understand on the fan pinouts, and then revised some of the wording on the screw thread guide. We had to order a DDR5 ECC SODIMM or something like that. I forget which one it was, but there was something that we had to order in order to like validate that the measurements were exactly perfect. And then other than that, I think we're in pretty good shape. You know you need to wipe that while it's wet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, you're like, you let the whole thing evaporate before you even scrubbed it.
Why don't you just do it?
Why don't you do it? Why don't you do it properly? You ever think of that? No, it's dry. You're dry scrubbing. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's a lot. Well, whatever. Look, Luke.
I think I have there was so much thermal paste that I'm having a hard time getting even clean parts of this cloth at this point.
Oh man. All right.
I think it's mostly gone though.
All right. So, guess what? This is the part where I make it even worse. You know what's a real bitch and a half to clean off of work surface?
What is it?
Liquid metal.
Oh my goodness. Well, I've got some more isopropyl.
I don't even know if ISO is your best bet. Tynan, would you even recommend ISO for liquid metal?
You just try to wipe it straight off?
Tynan says the liquid metal is a pain in the butt. I'm not going to put that much on this time.
Nice.
I'm not going to put that much on. I'm just going to put a little bit because realistically, if you spilled liquid metal, a lot of the time you would probably throw the needle back onto the syringe and try and suction it back up. Yeah, which I have done on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Now, if there was liquid metal in the bucket, could the water have been below 0 degrees?
All right. Okay, where's our spot? Right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Your hand's blocking it. Sorry. Oh. Well, here, I'll okay, then I'll suck back up as much as I can. Okay, but it got on there and stuff, so,
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
When it was still a ball.
There you go, buddy.
All right.
There you go, buddy.
So you guys are saying no isopropyl for the liquid metal?
What did Tynan say? Tynan knows best.
What did Tynan say?
He apparently said nothing. Meanwhile, Elijah is talking about bathing in liquid metal. Good Lord.
I used IPA before?
Isopropyl alcohol. Yeah.
All right.
Well, here we go. Good luck, Luke.
What if I let it dry again?
No pressure, but our, gigantic order for this is all hinging on your performance here.
Oh.
Cleaning the liquid metal off. Oh no, that was too easy. Well, here, you can't show it to the camera.
I think I got it.
All right.
Oh, there's a little dot left. Oh, got it.
Okay. Well, that wasn't very much fun. Here's more.
Well, wait. Let's verify.
Oh, no, it's still on there. No, you're going to have to keep going. You still got liquid metal. Got him.
I started trying to wipe it, and then there was oh.
Should have got a Ludwig swipe bidet then.
I wonder if I just wiped poorly and wiped it back on.
That's a real possibility when you have that much thermal goop on your rag.
Oh no, I switched cloths.
Oh, did you? Do we have more than one?
Yeah.
That's probably smart.
Nah, I think we're good now, though.
Okay. Now, what people are asking is, okay, but what about the print? And this is where I'm actually really impressed with.
I've been wiping over the print this whole time
with the quality of this product. Check this out. Yeah, lift it up a little bit more.
I'm trying to get like the good angle.
Yeah, I want them to see it.
Because this is, I just wiped over this one right now quite a bit.
Yeah, lift it up a bit more though. Like the yeah, right there. Oh, down. There you go. So yes.
That's where I've been actively cleaning.
If you're dedicated enough, you can cause a little bit of damage to the print, but it's pretty impressive what it can what it can withstand. I think there's a little bit here. There's a little bit.
Oh
here
yeah,
that
there's
you've
a little
scuffed
bit.
Yep.
I was also like scrubbing really hard.
Yep, I know, but that's. I mean, we gotta have realistic expectations. It's still printed.
The liquid metal came off really easy.
Yeah, very.
The liquid metal honestly came off easier than the first amount of thermal paste, but the first amount of thermal paste was a lot.
Very excited for this product. It also lies flat really well. We have to ship it rolled up. Oh, we have packaging. We have packaging. Oh, yeah. Created by, of course, the one and only Sarah Butt. I assume. I actually don't know that she worked on this packaging, but I'm pretty sure she did because it looks really good. So she either did it or it was someone working with her under her supervision because it looks freaking awesome. Comes apart like this.
Isn't that an automatic win? Don't all the designers do that?
Woo! Do what?
Work under her supervision?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Lloyd technically does.
Oh, okay.
Like he's technically more senior than Sarah, but they collaborate. They work with each other. I mean, we're collaborative. They're going to ship the other way, so with the graphics inside, but it still unrolls really well, which was something that was really important to us because it's a major pain point with other anti-static work surfaces. Oh, the packaging was Gary. Wow, he did a great job.
It looks great. It looks really sharp.
Sarah almost certainly gave input because Gary definitely works under Sarah. By the way,
looks fantastic.
Shout out Gary, keeping our team in it at softball night the other night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Gary's going to be my first pick next time I'm team captain. I'm pretty impressed. He's a player. Goes hard. Like I love it. I respect it. Respect it.
Elijah's offended.
Elijah's offended?
Yeah.
Why not you? I don't know, Elijah. Maybe because you got 2 outs on your own team last time. So we play kind of a different format.
How do you do that?
I will explain. I'll explain. We play an unusual format where you pitch to your own team.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But we don't do strikes and balls or anything like that. Like it's a super friendly, casual format where everyone on each side gets to bat. You have a designated pitcher who basically just like tosses it to you, but everybody gets only 2 pitches. That's it. It doesn't matter how good they were or how bad they were. So it's in the interest of the pitcher to pitch the easiest possible lob, and it's in the interest of the batter to swing at every ball because you get only 2 pitches. That's it. Yeah. So what's cool about the format is it gives everybody an opportunity to bat every single inning. It keeps things moving pretty quickly, and you get a ton of offense. So people aren't just standing out
waiting,
bored in the field, right? So anyway, one of the sort of idiosyncrasies of this format, which Chewy was the one who introduced me to, is that you have 2 pitchers on the mound because one person on the team of who's batting is throwing the ball, but somebody still has to play the field position of pitcher in case somebody bunts or kind of flubs it and it's too far from the catcher.
Yeah.
So one of the rules then is that if the pitcher who's not playing defense, right? If the pitcher interferes with the ball, the batter's out. Twice. Elijah interfered with the ball and got his batter out over the course of a 4-inning game. However, in fairness to Elijah, Sarah who was pitching for our team and throwing some scorchers. It turns out she has some softball experience. Sarah, who was pitching for our team, not only got one of our batters out, she caught the ball. Like, didn't just like get hit by it or whatever. Like, Elijah got hit in the ankle by one of them or something like that. Sarah like was like and caught it, and we're like, Sarah!
That's pretty good.
The reflexes were too strong.
I went and played once, and I actually really liked playing the neutral pitcher. It was fun because, like, if you play it in a true way, you are playing for the team that is batting, and then the second that the bat connects with the ball, you're playing for the team in the field.
Yeah, that's wild.
So it was like kind of fun, like really wanting them to hit it, and then the second they hit it, you're like, I gotta get it.
Gotta get them out. Well, it's more fun to get them out if they hit it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
Play.
Oh shoot, I didn't realize Chewy was watching. He's all upset that he's not first pick. Chewy, you're good too, but your batting's been kind of inconsistent lately.
Whoa!
Mine has 2.
Next community review.
Mine
Linus
has
is
2.
Toxic.
I'm gonna own that. No, I'm gonna own that. Oh, dude. No, like I'm a pretty toxic competitor, as you know.
Yeah.
I literally almost killed Shahrad from the sales team.
Yep. I was there.
Oh, you were there for that's right. You were there for that. So, in fairness to me, it was a good throw. It was a great throw.
Does the quality of the throw scale based on the person you're throwing it at? Like, if you threw that at a 4-year-old, would it be a good throw?
Are you calling Shahrad a 4-year-old?
No. That's fair. No,
this isn't Mario Kart, Luke.
Not everyone's going to get that reference, but that was pretty good.
The play was to home, okay? In fairness to me, it was a laser beam of a throw. Right at his chest.
Yeah.
He's not a super experienced baseball player, so his instinct was to catch it with his throwing hand, which did not have a glove on it.
I think he did actually catch it, though, right?
No, I think he dropped it. He like got it a lot, but I think he actually didn't make the play ultimately. Right. But it's a miracle that I didn't break his hand.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I get amped up, and I was throwing for the out. What can I say? I can say about our sponsor. Yeah, let's do sponsors. Thanks, Dan. The show is brought to you today by MANSCAPED. While you are keeping your hedges trimmed beautifully in your backyard, your kiwis are begging for some attention downstairs. Why are there 3? It doesn't matter. It's time for your kiwis to shine with the help of our sponsor, Manscaped. Whether you prefer a heart shape or a clean shave, they have got you covered. You can check out their Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. I'm glad we didn't have to look at that heart-shaped hedge any longer than that. It includes the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra and a Weed Whacker 2.0 for your ears and nose. You'll even get their Crop Soother made with shea butter and cocoa seed butter, designed to pamper your delicate areas with essential moisture and soothing relief. And for an added layer of freshness, give your package a royal treatment with their Crop Preserver to keep the funk at bay. Check out the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra at manscaped.com/WAN Show and use code WAN Show for 20% off and free shipping. The show is also brought to you by AG1. Are you giving your health the same attention you give your houseplants? How did Dennis know? Yeah, I don't take care of plants. Fuel up with your daily nutrition. Okay, sorry, I'm going to have to do an aside here for a second. Hold on. Sorry, Dan. We're going back to the wide cam. For my wedding, my gift from my mother was I don't know, it's a fig tree, I think it is. I think it's a fig tree. Anyway, the point is, it wasn't really one fig tree. It was kind of 2 fig trees. And what she had done is, as they were young, she had twisted them together so that they grow together like this. When she, and of course it was, like the 2 lives intertwined kind of thing, right? Okay. Yeah. Yes, that was my wedding gift for my parents, a plant, but that's a whole separate conversation. The point is that when we received it, it was about this tall and was kind of like twisted up, and she was like, "Oh yeah," and
from the ground or the desk?
From a pot that's like this.
That's on the desk.
Yeah, it's the one that's by the kitchen table. You know the one, right?
Talking for them.
Oh, got it. But you know the one,
yes.
Right? Okay. So it was about this tall, maybe this tall. And now here we are. Yvonne and I are, I believe, lucky 13 years into our marriage. And it's about this tall. Every time I remember her telling us, oh yeah, as it continues to grow, you should continue to twist it. And every time she comes over, I think she points out that for it to keep growing, we would have to water it and put it in a bigger pot.
Yeah.
And every time I go, yep.
Oh yeah. You know, you could use your fancy home automation thing to water that automatically.
Sure could.
Yeah. Just saying.
I like it the size it is. I like it the brownish, greenish color that it is. I am not good at taking care of plants. Dang, y'all been married a long time. Tell me about it. Poor Yvonne.
My grandpa gave me this aloe vera plant like forever ago. I can't even remember when he got it for me, but it's ancient. Like it sat on the windowsill above where my computer desk was when I lived in the split one half of the basement suite in the old office.
Nice.
So like I had this with me in 2013. And it's an aloe vera plant, so you don't need to water them that often. That contributed to the already what you would probably expect is not amazing care that I would give a house plant.
Yep.
By being like, I probably don't need to water it. It's an aloe vera plant. It's fine. So I would just like ignore it for huge periods of time. And then somebody, it genuinely wasn't me, put like a box or something in front of it.
Uh-huh.
So it was now gone to me forever. So I left it for a long time. Still lived somehow. Don't know how. It has since gone through like a bunch of things that you would think it would not survive through. And it just has survived through everything. It even like, I don't know what it's called, but it created another one of itself. But the original one
like
didn't
or something,
die off. So
okay,
there's like
so they're
two
just
of
both
them
in
now.
there.
And they're still both alive.
Perfect.
It's crazy. It's very like kind of thin.
You heard it here first, guys. If you're a Luke, aloe vera is the plant for you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Anywho, let's tell you about AG1. Fuel up your daily nutrition with our sponsor, AG1. All you need is one scoop a day, and unlike other supplements that just cherry-pick research on specific ingredients, AG1 has solid backing from multiple studies on its whole formula. These studies were done by third parties in double-blind environments as well as being placebo-controlled. The results of the studies are on their website, so you can see the potential benefits of adding AG1 to your morning routine. A few members of the LMG team have tried or even drink AG1 daily, and if you try AG1, you will get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/WAN Show. The show is also brought to you by Seasonic. Do you want a free PC too? No? How about you want to buy one with our sponsor Seasonic? Who wrote this nonsense? Seasonic's Prime TX 1000 watt power supply won't break a sweat in some of the most demanding gaming setups. Your power bill isn't getting any cheaper, but thankfully the TX 1000 has an 80 plus titanium rating, which means less energy goes to waste. That could even translate to a few extra bucks off your energy bill. Seasonic's power supplies are quiet and built to last and backed up with a 12-year warranty. Let's go. At least this particular model is. Actually, I think they bumped them all. Okay, I don't know. The point is, it's a better time than ever to grab one of their power supplies, as Seasonic has been running several sales throughout the year. So if you're building a new system and looking for a power supply you can rely on, you can trust Seasonic. Learn more about them at seasonic.com or through the link in the video description. Seasonic's one of the few companies that used to be basically OEM only,
yes.
but that has, I think, really successfully translated into being a retail brand.
I remember when they did that, and I was very happy.
Yeah.
Because now I didn't have to Google which power supply on the shelf was a Seasonic. Okay.
Save you the trouble.
Be like, oh, okay, cool.
The one that says Seasonic on the front.
Yeah, it was helpful.
All right, what are we supposed to be doing, Dan?
Oh, I got some merch messages for you.
All right, hit me.
Can't wait to use these MCM stuff. But I wanted to ask what that fluid was you guys were going to use for that submerged PC you were thinking of doing a few months back.
Shoot, I forget. The one that we researched whether it was compatible with birds or not.
Oh, I don't remember the name of it.
I'm so sorry. I don't remember.
There's a bunch that are very good.
Yeah, there's actually a ton of options. The only thing wrong with all of them is that they are super, super expensive. I'm going to do a quick search in the email that I'm definitely not logged into. And then if I don't find it, then we don't have it. Novak line. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know.
Nokia might know.
Yeah, that's
Novak sounds right.
Yeah, Novak sounds right because I think it's the old school one. I don't think it's the one we talked about most recently. I'm just not sure. Elijah might know. He has like an encyclopedic knowledge of every video we've ever done. It's funny. People used to go to me when they
he doesn't know.
Weren't sure. Oh, he doesn't know. All right, never mind. Forget it. Okay, we can move on.
Sure. Getting ready for Lyme Day. Linus, my wife wants to know what skincare mask you got done for yourself. She thinks the results look pretty good. Keep up the good work.
Hey, whoa. Irene said really good, not pretty good, Dan, editorializing.
What's going on with that?
They move around a little bit.
Sure.
Have you not? Did you not see that on your screens?
The one that I did was Morpheus 8. But not everyone that I've talked to who has tried it has been super pleased with it. So your mileage may vary, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results.
And how about one more? Hey, good merch. Hashtag long shirts when. For Luke, aside from NASA and the like, if you could do a video series on anything, what would it be? Also, hi, VOD me.
I have an answer. For Luke, and it'll be better than the answer Luke comes up with.
Do you want me to?
I'm stoked.
I can type mine out, and you go first, or do you want to do it the other way around? You're going to type yours out?
I'll type mine out. Hold on.
I really wonder what his is. The frustrating part is it is probably better than mine. Do I just start going while you're still typing?
Sure.
I think I would enjoy doing like a micro style jobs series, but it wouldn't necessarily have to be like dirty jobs in particular. I wouldn't be against doing that, but it wouldn't have to be that. But I've always, when I go on vacation these days, my favorite thing has been to do stuff. I don't want to explore cities. I like doing stuff. And there has been scenarios where I've had an opportunity to effectively do someone's job with them for a couple of days, and that's actually been really cool. So that'd be fun.
Okay, I got a better series.
All right, what is it?
Luke gets a detached home and does a house tech improvement series, but it's kind of janky budget stuff.
Didn't they say what?
Murphy style fold out gaming setups for LANs and stuff like that.
Oh, that'd be pretty sick.
They're both good. We both had good answers.
Someone said Micro's anti-worker. I don't know anything about the dude. This is not man, you can't do the someone mentioned a thing and they are endorsing the thing on the internet. I hate that because I haven't deeply researched every single thing I'm ever going to talk about. I just mean the show. I've watched it twice. I don't know. Anyways, didn't they say it was supposed to not be tech or whatever?
Oh, I thought it was.
What did they say?
Anything. It could be about anything.
I win.
Oh, I just assumed it wasn't what we literally do as a job.
Oh, all right. Anyway, I think it would be a cool concept to do tech improvements to Luke's new house, where Luke actually has to pay for what it is, but what we contribute is the labor.
Oh, that would actually be pretty lazy.
So that everything that we do has to be practical and useful, but it'll be done on a Luke budget. That would be
so I get to
sick.
Basically troll you guys.
That would be sick.
That would actually be pretty fun, probably.
Very excited.
I don't know. Let's do one more here.
Okay.
What might be the most atrocious tech that you see being used consistently on a day-to-day that should not legitimately exist?
Oh man, I feel like the troll response is consoles, but I should not exist. I can't think of too many things that shouldn't exist. I mean, I'm a firm believer that, okay, not entirely, but for the most part, I believe that there's no such thing as a bad product, just a bad price, right? That at the right price, anything can make sense. I mean, I hate seeing, any device that ships with, an out-of-date, insecure operating system on it. So, a lot of like really cheap Android devices that are running ancient versions of Android. That very much is used on a daily basis by many people. And
do you mean like non-upgradable to a safe version?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah. So things like we did a whole video on those sketchy like Android TV boxes and stuff like that are running ancient versions of Android that probably have backdoors and all kinds of phone home behaviors in them, and people buy them because they want to watch pirated streams and stuff like that. But what are they giving up? We don't even really know.
Yeah.
I was going to say computers.
Thanks, Dan.
They're evil.
Really helpful. You should probably find a different line of work if you don't want to deal with computers.
Evil. I've spent my whole life trying to contain them.
Hey, speaking of spending your whole life, I've got an exciting project for us. One of the things that died during the flood of my server rack. Wait, did I already talk about this last week? Did I talk about the eBay UPS?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
You talked about the story of the thing dying.
So I shot the video this week with my son, actually, was a helper, tearing down and checking the various systems for corrosion.
Nice.
And I'm not going to spoil too much of the video other than to say that it's going to blow your mind and it raises more questions than it answers. So make sure you watch it. But one of the things that died is the UPS at the bottom of the rack. It's a 9XP5 something. I don't know. It's some Eaton 5,000 watt UPS. And I went on eBay to find out how much those are worth because I hadn't looked at it in a while and I forgot.
Yeah.
Cool $5,000. That is, unless you can find a shipping damaged one that got the absolute shit kicked out of it from some like
you gonna swap the chassis or something?
discount server equipment place, and you make them a lowball offer of $300, and then you use your good chassis, and you put non-water damaged boards in it. So Dan, do you want to build a UPS with me?
Heck yeah, let's do it.
All right.
That sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Dan has so much work to do.
I'm going to save $4,300.
That's a lot.
Or $4,700.
This does sound worthy of Dan's time.
Stay the Path says, sounds dangerous AF. Why do you think I want Dan to help me? That man. He's going to make sure the caps don't discharge themselves into my eyeballs.
I'll wear a red shirt. It'll be fine.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
Luke, we could use this as a like an exercise in figuring out the entire process.
Oh, yeah. Dan could participate.
Look at this guy. I don't even have to do tasking.
All right,
He just does it himself.
Double work. Double work. More efficiency.
Yes, boss. Could I have more work, please?
Please, sir. No, you have to finish your first work before you can have more work.
Give me your boots to lick.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You already missed the part
is a good idea.
where I sent a random email to James in the middle of the night pitching the video, so you'll have to put that on your flowchart. Anywho.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
will that come up in the writers' meeting on Monday?
No.
Is that when it would come up?
Writers' meetings are on Friday. The reason I was late for WAN Show today. You'd think you'd know that.
What's the one on Monday?
There's
one on Monday.
I don't know what happens on Monday. I work from home on Mondays.
Isn't there one on Monday?
I don't know.
Am I wrong, Dan? Do you move it from Monday to Friday?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just bugging you.
I probably just don't know.
I think at some point writers' meeting was on Mondays. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Elijah would actually probably know better than me.
That meeting at the start of the chart. Do you know when that is?
Nope.
Okay.
I just know that it's the first part.
Okay. Yeah.
If it happens on Friday, then it happens on Friday.
Basically, what I'm saying is, would it wait to come up in that meeting?
You've already made a Trello card for it.
Maybe. Not necessarily. If I'm just like, this is greenlit because procurement is buying this now.
There should be a path for that, actually, because we actually do want that to be able to be a thing, because that will increase agility. This is good. You want to be able to.
It's on the floor over there.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying necessarily do it now.
Crystal.
I'm going to forget.
Double work?
I'm going to forget.
Crystal D.
Do previous work during WAN?
Says, writers' meetings have typically been Mondays. Who the devil are you? I don't
Who is it?
Crystal D. Fier 88.
If you work here, you need to reach out and get your account badged so that people can know that.
Anyway, on the subject of shooting with my son for that video, which was a lot of fun, viewers and actually people internally have noticed and commented to me about, what's with Linus's kids being in the videos more recently. They were all in the gaming minivan video, and then my son was in the flooded server video. And someone on staff asked me point blank, like, are you priming them to take over the family business?
Is little man becoming big man?
Yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting question, one that I have thought about in the past, but honestly haven't really thought about in a while since they hadn't seemed that interested for a pretty long period.
Yeah.
And the answer is no. I'm not a believer in the merit of nepotism. I don't think that it is a particularly valuable thing.
What if one of them applied?
Well, then I would expect us to give them a fair shot, like we would any other applicant.
Isn't that against the handbook?
Is what against the handbook?
Hiring family members?
Oh, that's interesting.
I think it's a team thing.
It might be
per
team
department
related. Yeah, I know there's a lot of like, a different department. Who cares?
What would you be on the?
Should be an accountant.
Team?
That'd be fun.
I have no idea.
What team are you on? Are you on all of the teams?
I don't know.
I
think I just sit on an island.
I think company structure-wise, you're on an island.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm on any team.
Yeah, okay.
Well, so then I guess I don't count.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know.
I think technically, like company structure tree-wise, that is legitimate.
You couldn't hire him to be a C-level. That would be on your tree, because that's your like department.
Oh.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think any of the C-levels report to me. They all report to Taryn.
Yeah, but you're in the other... If you were on the writing team, other writers might not report into you, but you're on that team. So
I don't know.
What he's saying is you're on like the staff team. That might actually be legit.
No, I think he's above everybody, right? Because every department reports.
But this gets into the weird part of like, is he two people?
Yeah. Am I two people?
Yeah. Because he's the owner and he's one of the employees.
Yeah, I report to Taryn, but Taryn reports to ownership.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know.
The point is
I don't know.
that they have expressed a little bit more interest lately, and it was super fun working on, explaining, potential theories for how galvanic corrosion might occur in a closed loop where there's no obvious mixed metals. It was cool kind of walking through the troubleshooting steps. And one of the things that a lot of people noticed on the minivan video was that kids, especially inquisitive ones, open up opportunities for conversations that aren't always there if you don't have someone inexperienced who's there to ask the question. And it's funny because this is something that I've known for a long time. I remember talking to Seth Curry back when we did that build where I walked him through how to build a PC, and what I told him, I don't remember if it was in the video or if it was after the video, but what I told him was I thought it was so cool that he was willing to be, as someone with the kind of profile that he has, right? Where anything he says or does can be misconstrued. I told him I thought it was so cool that as someone with the profile that he has, he was willing to put himself out there, do something he has no experience with,
not know something,
ask stupid questions that other people are afraid to ask for fear of looking or sounding dumb, and then absorb and learn and push himself to do it. Like, I remember it taking a lot longer, or it looked like it was going to take a lot longer than we had budgeted, because he insisted on doing the AIO mounting himself, even though the whole thing was like he was very protected on his side by, I think ASUS sponsored it back then, and they were like ready to leap in and do it for him to make sure the product didn't look too bad or whatever, right? But he like insisted on doing it himself, and I thought that was really cool because a lot of people look up, like it or not, a lot of people look up to athletes as role models, and I thought that he was modeling a really cool, really cool approach.
Totally.
But one of the things that was great for me co-hosting that video was that him asking questions gave me a reason to answer them. It gave me an excuse to talk about things that I wouldn't have if I was just standing there by myself building a computer. And the kids do a really good job of that because they're naturally inquisitive. They want to know what things are. They want to know how they work. And they give me a reason to talk about stuff that otherwise a really long-time viewer might kind of sit and go, okay, why is he explaining what an LTE puck is? Right? Well, I'm explaining because not everybody knows. And it's a way to, without irritating those people who already know what it is, address the questions that realistically a lot of like kind of flyby viewers who aren't immersed in this stuff are going to be thinking, but not even realizing or not being willing to, or being afraid to ask, or not wanting to deal with going and looking it up and ultimately finding the content less accessible. So it's a really natural way to de-jargonify things. With that said, there are challenges. Shooting with the girls on the minivan video, they're still a little young to be legitimately useful and helpful in anything. And, my son to a degree is not as autonomous as, an adult would be. Like, obviously I mostly work with grown-ups, and you get kind of accustomed to, okay, go figure that out. And they do because they're grown-ups. But it's been kind of neat.
Have you figured out? Sorry, I thought you were talking.
No, go ahead.
Have you figured out the compensation stuff?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We pay them minimum wage. To be perfectly honest with you. But we pay them for the hours that they work, and they're kids. Like, realistically, they're going to spend it on stupid baubles anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, honestly, my daughters, we went to a glass blowing studio for an activity when we were down in Great Wolf Lodge, and my daughters each spent like $45 on little glass mushrooms. And I basically, we believe in making mistakes on your own. And so I pretty much sat them down. I gave them a talk, each individually. And I basically, individually, because one of them did it in the first place. And then we left and got lunch, and the other one wanted to go back and get one of the exact same thing, probably just because her sister did it. So little kid things, right? And adults. So I basically sat each one of them down, and I gave them kind of a talk that went, it's your money. You have been given it in birthdays and Red Pocket, and by working on videos very occasionally, for doing chores. It's a lot of money. I explained about the exchange rate and how our dollars are not worth as much as American dollars. I talked through sort of how long it takes to earn this much money versus how quickly we can spend it, and what the fulfillment we might get out of spending this money on this particular thing might be versus some other things that we could spend our money on, and if that's a sacrifice that we want to make, because conceptually money doesn't mean anything to a little kid in single digits age bracket, right? However, I believe in it being your money, not my money. So if that's what you want to spend it on, then I will facilitate that for you, because they don't carry around bank cards. So I have to do the transaction and then just transfer it. So if that's really what you want, I'm not going to tell you no, but what I will hope is that you will reflect on this purchase at some point once you see how much you do or don't make use of this glass mushroom, and that will impact your decision making in the future one way or another, was essentially the kind of the conversation that I had with the girls. One of them hasn't even made it off of the kitchen island since we unpacked from getting home. And I forget where I was going with this. Right. So they're probably just going to waste it. My son's actually a saver. He's like super not materialistic. He doesn't really spend money on anything. So I don't know what his motivation is. Yeah.
His motivation is being based.
Okay. All right. So he is Luke, says Lieutenant Beefy. No, my other son. Elijah, he should buy Fortnite skins /S. He actually was gifted VBucks. That's what they're called, right? VBucks. I think so. He was gifted a VBucks card for a birthday or something at some point in the last year or so. And I kind of talked to him about it. I went, okay, so we know we don't buy VBucks, but if someone gives them to us, like, yeah, I guess you can spend them if you want, but did you ask for VBucks for your birthday? He goes, no, I didn't. I go, okay. And he goes, also, I tried to see if I could get a gift receipt, but I couldn't because gift cards, I'm sure someone somewhere has figured out a technique for trying to read what's on it and try to return it or whatever, or maybe it's impossible, I don't know. But he did fully understand that VBucks are stupid. But he did spend like $50 worth of VBucks because he couldn't, he couldn't return it and he didn't ask for it. I'm like, okay.
Sure, why not?
Yikes.
At that point, like, yeah, sure.
Ugh. Ow. Oh, my back is dead. Okay. What are we supposed to be talking about? Luke, you want to pick a topic?
Sure.
What
Xbox
has this
Game
show even been about so far?
Pass.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
All right.
Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, lordy. This is a
Microsoft
mess.
has announced both a price increase and a new tier structure for Xbox Game Pass alongside a $3 increase to Game Pass Ultimate from $17 to $20. Microsoft has also removed day one access from Game Pass's base tier, now called Standard. Really? So right after announcing that all of those games, they just had a huge event. Let's not forget this. They just had a huge event very recently, within the last few weeks, I think, where they announced every single game that was announced in that event was like day one Game Pass. And then they take it away?
Got him.
That's a huge yikes. Hold on. And that's not even... Okay. So they removed day one Game Pass from Game Pass's base tier called Standard, but Standard isn't even the lowest tier anymore?
Just keep going. It's a mess, dude. Just keep going. Just keep going.
That's rough. Game Pass Core's annual price will increase from $60 to $75. That also doesn't have day one access, though its cost remains the same for users who pay month to month.
Don't forget that Game Pass Core is not Game Pass Standard and doesn't include the Game Pass catalog of games.
Wait, what does it do then?
Game Pass Core is a limited catalog of 25 plus games, member deals and discounts, and online multiplayer.
Online multiplayer, okay. Got it. Sheesh. Gamers will no longer be able to use reward points to fund subscriptions. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know how you get reward points. Moving on. In other reporting, Xbox console sales are down 31% year to year. According to The Verge, Xbox Cloud Gaming is only a few months away from allowing gamers to stream their entire Xbox libraries.
You missed a Game Pass tier. There's PC Game Pass for $11.99 a month, which does not have online console multiplayer included because it's just included because of course it is. It's just like game multiplayer. Like, why do you need a subscription for that? It does not have a limited catalog of 25 plus games on console, but it does have the PC library of the Game Pass catalog of hundreds of games and day one game editions. Also, I thought there was a fifth one. Isn't there also a fifth one, you guys? I had come across an article that was like, there's like one more tier that has games on the console but doesn't include multiplayer, so you would have to buy the console multiplayer Game Pass Core separately.
Can you get a refund? Because what if you watched that keynote, watched them announce every single game is on Game Pass day one, and then the tier that you're on just got day one Game Pass removed from it?
I don't know.
This
is great, though. Garo Ninja says, I would be devastated if I cared.
Based.
Seriously, though, Game Pass has been a good value in the past. The price going up a bit does not change that it's still a pretty darn good value. Game Pass Core is looking like a terrible value, and I guess that's part of the point of all this.
So
essentially, they're trying to push everyone to Game Pass Standard, which includes online multiplayer, which to me is kind of a basic of owning a game console, I guess. So basically, how they afford to sell you a cheap computer.
I don't think so. I think they're trying to push people to Ultimate because Standard won't have day one games.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. So they're trying to make Game Pass Core basically trash. They're trying to make Game Pass Standard frustrating because everyone that you
Can't
know
play with your friends
is playing a different game because they have day one access, and then Game Pass Ultimate is for $20 a month. Good Lord. $240 a year.
Is there a yearly plan?
Play on Xbox.
It doesn't actually say. It says the yearly plan for Core, and then it doesn't say a yearly plan for any of the other ones.
Oh no, apparently they're closing the 360 store too. Man, this is wild. This is wild. You know what? Unsubscribe to Game Pass. Subscribe to Flowplane.
PC Game Pass still gets day one games for $12. Oh, did I not notice
yes,
that?
PC Game Pass does, but you can only use PC Game Pass on a PC. So if you are a chump and give Microsoft your money for their gaming machine, then they treat you like a chump who gave them money instead of treating you like a valued customer that should get a good value.
That seems stupid.
Yeah, it does. But hey, on Flowplane, you can get Adam continuing the rant against tech marketing, so you get all the stuff that was not tight enough to make it into the video. You get a closer look at what we learned A/B testing thumbnails. You get Dan explains his new live feed camera. Every camera we use on set explained. You can check out our cars and how we test materials at Creator Warehouse, which probably,
cool,
I haven't actually watched this one yet, but probably has some nuggets that didn't make sense until you knew about the upcoming ModMat.
Oh, interesting.
Anywho. What else we got? What else we got for the people today?
Let's see here. Ryzen 9000?
Yeah.
AMD's Ryzen 9000 series processors arrived at retailers today ahead of the official launch sometime this month. But in spite of promising leaks on their specs, enthusiasm has been relatively muted, considering that I didn't even know this happened. PC sales have been recovering from their post-pandemic slump, but that doesn't appear to have translated into renewed excitement for major component launches.
Yeah, I mean, considering the performance uplift and compared to what we've grown accustomed to getting over the last 5 to 10 years, I am kind of blown away by how little buzz I've seen for Ryzen 9000. And I think a big part of it is that by not launching with X3D versions out of the gate, AMD is basically saying, yeah, gamers need not apply. And the enthusiast segment, and whether they game or not, people who are really interested in gaming performance benchmarks are pretty much a circle.
Yeah.
And there's going to be professionals who need the IPC and 12 cores, but don't need gaming performance or the better power efficiency that we tend to see with the X3D processors. And they'll, pick up Ryzen 9000 for their editing workstations, except like not a super high-end workstation because they aren't going Threadripper Pro. So like you got some users in there for whom Ryzen 9000 is going to make sense. But for an architectural move, where we're moving to Zen 5, and it seems like, betterer. The hype level is just blowing me away here. Like the lack of hype. And it kind of makes me worried. Like if AMD's CPUs become not interesting, what is there going to be left to be interested about from AMD? Because their GPUs sure aren't lighting the world on fire right now. Are they just going to move entirely to AI and data center? And are we going to be left with nothing? Obviously, that would be quite a few years off. But like, it almost feels like we're in this negative feedback loop where they didn't really give us anything to be excited about for a long time. And I'm talking collectively, the big three, your Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA. Actually, you know what? I'm going to include Microsoft in there. Because Microsoft, Windows used to be it. A new Windows would move. It
also used to be
boxes.
Interesting.
But that's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to say the big four didn't give us anything interesting, so we got bored. So sales of interesting things, like something that really stood out to me as interesting, even if it was kind of stupid, was that weird collab that Intel did with Cooler Master and EK, where they made a Peltier cooler for their high-end K-series chips that didn't improve performance in anything but gaming, where slightly higher boost clocks on a couple of cores was going to eke out a few % more performance, all for like 350 watts of extra power consumption or something like that. It was cool, but it was sort of too little too late by that point. So we're kind of bored and cynical and don't care anymore. So then why would they bother to, produce new products at this breakneck speed, especially as the cost of developing them goes up and up and up with each subsequent generation, which makes us bored, which makes them not bother, which makes us bored, which makes them not bother. Like, are we just going to be... Is cloud gaming just the future, whether we like it or not?
I think that's like the biggest thing that I hate about the direction of tech right now, but I do kind of feel like maybe, yeah. I hate it though. This is why I keep pushing back against these all-you-can-eat game services, because I think that's all going in that direction as well. And it's just...
I distinctly remember us...
I also want to say something that I forgot to say about the Microsoft subscription tier increase thing, is this is another reason. We've seen this with streaming services. We're seeing this with Game Pass. It's so much better to just own your stuff, because you don't know when the terms are going to be changed. Suddenly, Disney Plus, or whatever it's even called, has updated their pricing a bunch of times, and it's way more expensive than it was when you signed up.
Yep.
And now you are going to unsubscribe and suddenly have access to none of it, even though you paid for this thing over a while. It's a easier thing to stomach on the month-to-month basis, but overall, you're gaining nothing.
Yep, you'll own nothing
sucks.
and be happy.
Yeah. Don't be happy. Not with that. Be happy in general.
I distinctly remember us having this conversation, and I think it was about 6th gen or something like that. We were at the Langley house doing WAN Show, and we were in that stuffy bedroom, and we were talking about the rumor at the time. Maybe it was 5th gen. I'm not sure anymore. It was one of the two. And we were talking about the rumor at the time that Intel was going to move to soldered CPUs on the motherboards. So essentially, you'd be locked in, and the only thing you'd be able to change was RAM. And I don't even remember what either of our stances was on it, but I remember the audience reaction was absolutely horrified at the end of DIY, and at this idea that you would just buy CPU, motherboard, maybe even RAM, maybe even storage, just on a single prepackaged, pre-bought board at that spec off of the shelf, and then I guess throw it in a chassis that looks the way you like, and you'd have expansion cards still, but that would be about it. And
maybe not.
Fast forwarding to today, when Apple's upgradable Mac is a shadow of its former self, like it hardly even has any cards that are worth installing in it anymore, now that you can't put GPUs in it, and the GPU is integrated into the SoC. Looking at Qualcomm having absolutely no plans whatsoever, as far as I can tell, to do anything but completely soldered packages for what are now mobile chips, but if they continue to be successful, could conceivably make their way into a mini PC and then a small form factor PC and even a desktop. I mean, if the performance is there and you get GPU drivers for it, who's to say that you wouldn't just buy a Snapdragon, or moving, even farther into the future, a RISC-V board of some sort that's a soldered CPU or SoC. Is it finally coming to pass? Is it just over the horizon now? The end of swappable components on motherboards?
Or I think laptops are leading the charge there.
Absolutely.
Like hardcore.
Absolutely. And laptop components have slowly but surely made their way into desktop computers. There was one that we were looking at in writers' meeting recently, and I'm not logged into Trello, so I think it's going to be pretty hard for me to find this. But it was like the smallest water-cooled desktop. And the truth is, it doesn't... Yeah, here it is. The Techno Mega Mini Gaming G1. Here's an article from Video Cards. And it's hard to get a sense of exactly how small this thing is. So to give you guys an idea, this is not a 120 millimeter fan. I believe that is either an 80 or a 92 millimeter fan. This thing is flipping tiny. Let me see if I can double check the size of the fan. So no, it doesn't say. So don't quote me on that. Maybe it's a 120 millimeter fan. Either way, the thing is extremely small. GeForce RTX 4060. The CPU is a Core i9-13900H. Oh, a mobile chip. Dun, dun, dun. RTX 4060, water cooled. Not that that's going to achieve anything in particular. But the point is that in our efforts to differentiate and, build something that stands out from all the other samey black boxes, we're ending up with designs that are using more expensive, less modular, and sometimes less performant. I mean, especially because performance and price are sort of, slide against each other, right? So if I say more expensive, that inherently means less performant at the same price, but maybe the same performance at a higher price. The point is that suboptimal, right? And people are buying these, presumably. Rest Assured says Minis Forum has motherboards with laptop CPUs that are killing it. Yeah, I'm not sure if I quite understand, because if I didn't mind less performance, wouldn't I be better off getting like a last gen thing? But I guess some people
will not do that.
Efficiency is really important as well.
Oh, that too.
And yeah, some people just straight up won't do that. So Luna says, considering how long my CPU lasts, anytime I need a new CPU, I need a new motherboard anyway, so IMO, it wouldn't matter much if they started being soldered on. But reverse that. Considering how easily a motherboard can break, wouldn't it be better to be able to take your CPU to a replacement motherboard? Modularity is good. It's good, but it costs money. And I just don't think I don't foresee an outcome where they continue to want to invest in it, because I mean, look at okay. I'm just thinking back to Level1Techs, Wendell. Love Wendell. Level1Techs did a video this week about Intel's challenges with stability on their 13900K and 14900K, and there was that game development studio that said that they're basically going all AMD because all the Intel CPU systems that they've had are crashing. And I was thinking about that and thinking back to some instances in the past where there have been motherboards blowing up or CPUs failing because of mismatched capabilities with respect to the VRMs on the motherboard and the power draw of the CPU in the socket. And that's just one example. There's also the development of sockets, and looking at how challenging that is. Like Der Bauer has his super cool low pressure ILM. Noctua has a solution involving, I think they're just still using washers to reduce the pressure on the CPU to keep it from going concave. Just all of these things. If I'm Intel or AMD, am I not just tired of it at this point?
Probably. Most
people are buying a Core i5 whatever K gaming CPU or i7 or i9. Like, there's, thinking back to my days at NCIX, you could count on one hand the number of SKUs that move in any appreciable volume. And for the specialty ones, like your low power, S SKUs, or AMD doesn't really have too many like weird kitschy ones. So on the Intel side, where they have a much deeper product stack, like your weird low power S ones, well, you would just expect a partner to go and develop a board around it and solder it to it and ship it. I don't know, man. I'm worried we might be coming close to the end, and I'm going to have to find different tech to be excited about and have fun with and make videos about.
Well, what about servers?
Yeah,
I think servers will be the last to go.
I think servers are a big part of why we still have modularity.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long they'll last. I mean, look at the way that NVIDIA was allegedly pressuring partners to buy the entire cabinet from them, top to bottom. Well, if that was the case, nothing would have to be modular anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
It could all be as integrated or not integrated as NVIDIA deems fit. And if you want it, you'll buy it. And if you don't buy it, you're going to be behind the competition in this AI arms race that we're in, right? So, no, I don't think it's a given anymore. But I do think that it's a big part of why we still have it.
Let's cover something else.
Yeah, let's find something fun.
Do you have any announcements left, or are we good? We're good.
Yeah, I think we're good on announcements.
That sucks.
Burbs love
Burbs?
The LTT screwdriver.
Burbs?
Burb? Oh, what? Is this? Oh, okay. Here's your problem. 1 second. Burp, burp, burp.
He works on other people's computers so often. He said, "Here's your problem."
Burp.
When solving his own problem.
Yeah. No.
Amazing.
Ads. Okay. PC build with my talking parrot. This is a 6-minute video. We're not going to play the whole thing because you guys are going to have to watch it on your own.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten to try this yet, or I haven't gotten to watch this yet. But what I'm told is that at some point in this video, the LTT screwdriver is involved and a burb is involved with it.
With it.
These guys look like an absolute trip. These birds. Okay, well, that's not an LTT screwdriver.
I'm not surprised he's trying to be involved.
Is there a timestamp I'm supposed to look at here? Hold on a second. Apollo, a pet African gray parrot.
There's a link.
Best known for his ability to recognize shapes, colors, and materials, recently decided to help his humans assemble a new PC. As a new PC building assistant, he made sure to test all the tools and even performed a drop test on the LTT screwdriver. He seemed to really love the sound of the ratchet mechanism.
That makes sense.
Here we go. Okay, I have some timestamps. Here we go. Oh, that is amazing. Okay. What else we got? Here's a link to Apollo's drop test. Nice.
Oop. Drop.
Oh, that's super cute. What else we got here? Apollo knows what screwdrivers are made of?
Probably says like the materials. Probably bites it and then says the material. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is super cool.
Really cool.
Birds are smart.
Look, in general...
And they look like good trainer people.
I was about to say, in general, if someone were to say, I'm going to get a parrot, I would tell them to not be an idiot and leave it in the wild. And don't you understand? They live for like 30 plus years. You need to not do that.
I think that was an African gray.
They often end up neglected and they don't get attention.
Yeah. 23 years. Apollo
here seems to be getting a lot of attention and interaction, which is what they need. They're flock animals, right? So you're part of their flock. You can't just peace out for days at a time. Like they gotta have a community. So
that looked like a very happy group of people.
That seemed like
group of birds.
Yeah,
they're all having a good time.
They seemed pretty into it, the birds. So I mean, obviously, you never know what things are like behind closed doors or whatever else.
Yeah,
but it seemed pretty chill. Also, LTT Screwdriver made an appearance in a Corsair ad.
Oh, nice!
Love to see it. Thanks, Reddit, for flagging that for us.
Let's go.
That was. Really? Jesus Bacon? All right, sure. Username Jesus Bacon. So, is that bacon given to you by Jesus, or is it bacon made of Jesus?
What's he baking? Is it a cake?
Do you eat it during communion?
I need like...
the body for breakfast.
All right, we need to get off of this topic.
How long have we been live? Do we just do After Dark?
So, Yvonne had an interesting pitch, and we shouldn't do it today, but she noted that other people are noting, and she was kind of confused by how dark we are on LMG clips sometimes. And she said she thought it was kind of stupid, which is fair.
Fair. So After Dark is in name only?
Her pitch was that we would do different colors on the background for After Dark. We would have a more like nighttime vibe.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
We'd have like bright colors for regular WAN Show.
Wasn't that a you story?
Yeah.
That's why I get paid the big bucks?
Yeah, I had a colleague at NCIX who definitely was earning pretty basic pay and was pretty much tolerated rather than appreciated in the workplace. And Dan is playing.
You're doing it now? Oh.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
That's kind of funny. Red and blue for when it's live and then purple for...
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, Twilight. Sparkle. Wait, what? The point is that this particular colleague wouldn't let me go get my own thing, even though it was right there and didn't matter. And it was this like meaningless menial task where this particular person had been kind of shoveled away from HQ so they wouldn't interfere with anything, and just on like inventory of one of the retail stores. And they like got so mad that their toupee was like moving around on their head, and because I wanted to just like grab something off of a shelf, and they were like, no, you can't do it, I do it. That's why the owner pays me the big bucks. That's why Steve pays me the big bucks. That's just, what the fuck are you talking about? So I used to be able to tell the story better with more details that were really funny. And so I told the story a handful of times to like other managers once I was higher up in the company. And I was like, yeah. I remember this one time, because this particular character was a character. And so whether it was catty and mean, I'll let you guys judge. It was catty and mean.
It was probably catty and mean.
It was catty and mean. Whether it was catty and mean, we would swap stories sometimes about funny interactions.
That's not good.
That's not good. That's
you
not
shouldn't
good.
have done that.
I shouldn't have done that. I wouldn't encourage that. But it became an inside joke anytime we would do the most menial bullshit to say that's why Steve pays me the big bucks.
I remember like back in the day you say that all the time. So I was like pretty sure it was a good story.
The story was a lot fresher back then in my mind. And it's also become kind of a tasteless thing for me to say, since I do actually get paid well now. Whereas back when I was like getting paid like a rank and filer with everyone else around me, it made a lot more sense for me to joke about not getting paid a lot and doing stupid bullshit tasks. So it just doesn't really work anymore.
Yeah.
Elijah goes, OMG, is that why you say it? Yes, apparently. I've said it more recently than I realized. Okay. Yeah, I probably shouldn't. I probably just shouldn't. I think it's tacky now.
Probably.
Yep.
You don't get to fit in anymore.
Probably tacky for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really like say it. What did I even just say it in response to?
I don't remember. But
I said that about Yvonne.
Oh, yeah, okay. She also gets paid pretty well.
Yeah.
I want gift cards in exchange for LTT backpacks.
That makes sense. You technically do.
Apparently. This was posted on the subreddit. Scammer pretends to be Linus, willing to trade discounted LTT backpacks for gift cards, even sent AI video of Linus as proof.
Oh.
Scammer spent 2 hours to finally get this receipt.
Amazing.
Finish the payment, then we can chat. Here's the screenshot. Where? Amount paid, $300. Purchased gift card. Recipient, Linus, not AI. Smiley face. What the hell is this? It's a screenshot of the purchase, Mr. Linus. Really funny. I don't know what you're talking about, Linus. Can I get that shout out now? This is not a gift card. You just playing with me, man. Oh, you are smart. What game are you playing? This is amazing.
That is very good.
And I have intentionally not watched this yet, so we all get to watch. Seriously, we all get to watch the scammer's deepfake together now. Dun dun dun. Oh wow. It's both a little bit confusing. Are a little bit convincing, but also clearly so off.
Yeah.
His hair is too perfect.
No, that's my hair.
It's not messy enough.
No,
well,
that's
his like skin and his hair also don't move together properly.
Look at this eyeball. Or look at this iris. It's like over here. It's like looking over this way.
The mouth movement is also very odd.
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny how much of recognizing a person is their mannerisms.
Yeah.
I also think that their face is probably actually this big. Like they probably have a wider face. Whereas on me, this is just hair and I have a narrower face. So it ends up looking really weird. Like the hair moves like flesh.
They're like super frozen too. Like the rest of them doesn't move at all. The shoulders don't even slightly adjust.
And why wouldn't they use like a low resolution, crappy version of me? Why would they make it look like I'm sitting in a portrait studio? Like, why would I record that like that?
The portrait studio is weird. I don't know what you're saying in the clip, but the portrait
I think it should have audio. There should be if you push the
top right-hand corner.
Top right-hand corner.
Oh, sure.
If you want to listen to it. Yeah, okay, it is there. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. We can hear the audio.
I think it's supposed to be this one.
Play the terrible audio. Apparently, it's terrible audio.
Tell me about yourself. Hi, Luigi Juriel. It's very funny you think I'm a fake, but I'm not. Hope this video proves I'm not.
Got anything,
Tell me
Dan?
about
Can
yourself.
they hear it? We can't hear
Hi,
it.
Luigi Juriel.
No. Well,
It's very
that's okay. I'm
funny
kind of
you
over
think
it.
I'm a fake, but I'm not. Hope this video
Neat.
proves I'm not.
Yeah. After dark?
Yeah. Do we have any other major topics today? Is there anything else that we announced? Oh, lordy.
What did we announce?
Oh, no, this is a good one. Stop killing games gains ground on official EU response. So the background here, if you're not familiar, is Stop Killing Games is a movement aimed at restricting game publishers' ability to render games unplayable after purchase. They have petitioned the EU, among others, for new legislation regulating how and when publishers can delist and sunset games. In June, Stop Killing Games was officially registered by the European Commission as a citizens' initiative. Now, if organizers can collect 1 million statements of support from EU residents within the next year, the EU government will be legally obligated to make an official response. This is very cool.
I think they'll get it too.
2 members of the EU Parliament. Well, if we can do anything about it,
Yeah.
darn right they're going to get it.
They're only going to get it if you guys listening to this do sign. Don't hear me say, like, I think they'll get it and not do something.
Yeah.
I'm saying I think they'll get it because I'm thinking that you will support it.
2 members of the EU Parliament have submitted questions to the European Commission for clarity on whether consumers should be protected from these kinds of publisher actions under existing EU law. The Commission's response basically boils down to, it's possible but currently untested that if games EULAs are unfair, they might be unenforceable. Consumers should be compensated if a service or supply of a good is cut off before the end of its agreed contract. However, these kinds of decisions probably need to be made first by member states before EU regulators take action. Is the quote here. The question of whether destroying games post-purchase is legal has reportedly been escalated to a high level in the French bureaucracy. So this is pretty exciting. I was worried this wouldn't gain any traction whatsoever, but it seems like there's a little bit of snow, just a few flakes of snow, maybe moving, maybe not rolling yet, but moving.
Is there like a sign up form to sign this now or something? I can't find anything personally. Is there something we can direct people to?
I don't know. Tell you what, we will find out. Dan, if you don't mind making a note for Jessica, we will find out for you guys for next week, and we will direct you to the right place, because if we can get everyone who watches the WAN show, who lives in the EU, to sign up for this, maybe we could even do another special early morning WAN show, like a first thing Friday WAN show, so we can catch more of them live.
That'd be cool. I'm down. Yeah.
I'm excited. This is great, because realistically, if they have to put in the work to hand over the server tools to the community, or do whatever it is,
keep it going.
Then they might as well just hand it over everywhere in every region rather than just in the EU. We see this over and over and over again, where one large jurisdiction basically goes, yeah, you can't do that, and they change their behavior worldwide. I'm super excited. Zombie blogs rise from the dead to commit plagiarism.
Didn't we talk about this? Oh, we talked about sort of this last week. Not quite.
The unofficial Apple weblog, which was closed by AOL back in 2015, has Weblog, whatever it is, has apparently been revived as a platform for AI-generated articles under the byline of its former writers. The articles are blatantly plagiarized, having barely been changed from the original source. Likewise, the writers' bios and profile pictures are AI generated. Some of the stolen names have been changed to generic names after the original writers threatened legal action. The domain's new owner, Web Orange Limited, doesn't appear to have also purchased the site's old content, and instead claims to have had its staff meticulously rewrite that content based on archived versions available on archive.org. Web Orange is apparently based out of Hong Kong and also owns a few other revived old sites, such as iLounge, which is also now posting low-quality AI-generated articles under the supposed byline of human beings. Okay. I think that's it, other than the FTC says most websites use dark patterns, in a big surprise to everyone who's ever tried to unsubscribe from anything.
Apparently that we don't have to get Jessica to do the work. It's not live yet.
Oh, okay.
It's coming, but it's not there yet. And apparently Canada's doing this too, maybe, question mark?
Well, that would be exciting.
Yeah, I don't think we have notes on that necessarily, but oh, yeah, if you go to stopkillinggames.com/countries, you can see the various flags, and there's the Canadian flag, and you can sign the petition and do stuff like that. Very cool.
Okay. Hey, we can collapse things in the doc now. So we should do that with any topics that we've already done. That's going to make it way easier to process this thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I've collapsed a bunch of stuff.
Neato.
Boop. PSA. We've all been hacked. This will be another quick one. Both AT&T and Ticketmaster were, several months ago, hackers stole large amounts of data from both AT&T and Ticketmaster. The AT&T breach is apparently extensive and affects nearly all of their customers, as well as customers of other providers that use their network. Nice. The data doesn't include the content of calls and texts, but does include a large amount of call metadata. AT&T is reportedly working with the FBI to investigate the situation, and the Ticketmaster breach likely affects millions of its customers. In an email Ticketmaster sent out disclosing the breach, I got one, it claims the information may have included your name, basic contact information, and payment card information, such as encrypted credit card or debit card numbers and expiration dates. Both breaches are linked to cloud data company Snowflake, whose servers were compromised when somebody was too woke, I guess. I made up the last bit. Things got heated.
Yikes.
Should we move to After Dark?
Sure.
Sure. What do we want? Purple now?
Sure.
Purple.
I lost their name because this conversation was a long time ago, but someone did point out in Floodplain chat that purple might make it seem like Twitch.
Yeah.
Do we care?
No.
All right. I do think they might be onto something, but
Sure. There.
I think it's maybe
Solved.
okay. Nice.
Question for you.
There we go. What's up?
Why don't they just store people's names and email addresses encrypted? Why is anything stored plain text?
Oh,
Because they store the credit cards encrypted. Maybe this is just me asking a dumb question, but it just seems like it wouldn't be that hard for them to decrypt it when they access it, just like anything else.
it might be pretty annoying.
But is that my problem?
Accessible? Is it like yeah, I don't know. How important is just the name?
I mean, the name itself is not terribly important unless it's an Ashley Madison leak. But I would say the name in conjunction with any kind of contact information is going to, if nothing else, increase the incidence of robocalls and spam.
Lookups get really annoying. Like, there's a lot of things on the company side that's like really annoying for. And honestly, in this might piss off a lot of privacy people. In my opinion, it's all leaked already, anyways.
Oof, that definitely made some people mad. I will be the voice of reason. No, that's a bad attitude, and we shouldn't be
I don't mean
defeatist.
for everything in general.
We
but
shouldn't
you're
be
just
defeatist.
saying just the name.
No, I'm not saying just the name.
I think it's a little unreasonable to say that we need to just encrypt literally everything all the time.
No, but we could encrypt. What I'm
Did I
saying
miss
is,
here? I thought you just mentioned the name.
I did, but I meant the name in conjunction with anything else is a problem.
Oh.
So, sure, you could have one thing that is not encrypted. But then, to your point, like how do you search a database? Then that's really tough.
It gets pretty annoying. I think there's an appropriate middle ground on this type of stuff.
But like,
what all leaked? What did they say leaked?
Oh man, for Ticketmaster, it was like names, contact information, and encrypted credit card numbers. So like, if my contact information was also encrypted, I wouldn't care. Like,
Yeah.
why do they need to index my contact information other than to like target me with ads or whatever, which I honestly go f yourself anyway. Like, is there any reason not to just say, look, anything that could leak has to be, enough of it has to be encrypted that you could not build an individual profile of a person. You couldn't tie any one thing to anyone else.
I think a lot of it comes back down to it's expensive and annoying. So it's like to email you your ticket.
Sure, but like, couldn't you have elevated access machines?
Still possible, just really annoying. You decrypt everything else in this case. I could be wrong here. I don't know if that's true. You have the key exposed and in use all the time. Yeah, I don't know.
That's true, and maybe it would just make that particular machine a more enticing target. But like if you only have to harden a handful of targets versus if just like every CSR in the entire company has access to something, like I
think it's just like this is information that's used to verify people all the time for a huge variety of reasons and stuff. I think it's just really taxing on whatever service it is. And I'm not necessarily saying that makes it like a good thing, but I understand why that level of stuff is often not encrypted.
Yeah, or like, okay, here's an interesting one. Top Gear 1224 in the chat says, what about encrypting part of things? Like, so if you need to be able to search by email, you could encrypt the domain. That would at least obfuscate things a little bit. Like, could you have part of a text field be encrypted on your side?
What if two people have the same ones?
Well, you're still only going to get a handful of results. Like, yeah, you wouldn't be able to find an exact match, or
that's pretty annoying.
Oh, that is pretty annoying. But like, they probably wouldn't have the same name.
It's really just pretty annoying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just tired of this.
Yeah. Like, I
like
completely
leaving
agree.
Things the way they are isn't good.
Completely agree. Harass, I think that's what I'm going to say. Makes each data transaction take longer, and over millions of users can really slow everything down. This is a huge deal. And that's why I said cost more and be very annoying. That's effectively what I meant.
Ticketmaster can afford it.
They definitely can.
You know what? Ticketmaster.
Yeah. I just like, and anytime you add, like, if you add a single call to like a task that happens like a bajillion times, like there was an inefficiency we found in Flowplane a while ago because it would check if you could watch. If I don't, something was configured incorrectly, and honestly, I'm going to tell the story wrong because I don't remember because it's been a long time. But it was doing like way too many steps when it was checking if you could watch a video. If I remember correctly, it was like
a DRM check of some sort.
It was like, can you watch all of the videos? And then it would. I don't remember exactly what it did, but it was really excessive, whatever it did. And there was a way easier way to simplify it, and we did end up simplifying it. But we were trying to figure out like why are we having scaling issues with this one thing? And we ended up figuring out that like as users were joining, it wasn't like, oh, you increase it by a reasonable amount. It was like, oh, every single time someone tries to play a video at all, there's like this massive amount of hits to the database all at the same time. And it was like very unreasonable. So you try to make those things more efficient. And it can be very annoying to not do that. Grass says, I work with AWS and I'm always under pressure to reduce processing time and therefore costs. Yeah, this is a huge thing.
This is scary. And Top Gear 1224 says, plain text databases are cheap. I once realized I could access the whole customer name, email list, and phone number for everyone who ever called AT&T back like 10, 20 years.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, super normal.
All right, Dan, want to hit us with some merch messages?
Let me just stop crying over here.
Yeah, cool.
I told you, computers were a mistake.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have tricked rocks into thinking. It's all been downhill since. Let's see. Talking of stupid rocks, LLD, I have an older gen phone, Samsung 10 Plus, S10 Plus, and I wanted to know on a scale of 1 to 10, how important are up-to-date security updates? Should I get a new phone based solely on security and the minor speed bump?
Well, how about we do this? I'm going to show Luke the phone that I'm still using that hasn't gotten a security update in, 2 years. And I'm going to see how much he freaks out. Okay, that look on his face, that's how important it is for you to update.
Why do you do this to me?
I don't know. I'm just a jerk, I guess.
Get a new phone.
I want to. It's a lot of work.
What if I just smashed it right now?
Then no one would be able to tell the difference. I mean, look at it. This isn't dirt, guys. This is like shattered glass on the back. No, I'd be pretty upset. I think I have some pictures on here I haven't backed up.
Okay.
So
You didn't learn your lesson last time,
about what?
backing things up.
I mean, there's 43 pictures on it. I think I'll be all right if I lose them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Smash
backed
it.
up.
Smash
I
it.
Backed up very recently.
That sounds like permission to me.
No. Look how cute this video is of my daughter. I'm showing off a little wolf she made out of Lego. You wouldn't smash that.
Nope.
And if you said anything about smashing that in reference to a video of my daughter, then we'd be having a real conversation here.
I have too much respect for you.
Nothing to do with me.
Did you get it?
Oh, I get it.
Yes, I got it. I got it, Luke.
Thank you.
And no playing doctor either.
Oh.
Where are my sunglasses?
Free mustache rides.
No, you shaved yours off.
You're shooting bullets. I got to wear bulletproof. That's
No,
a
you're shooting
terrible joke.
blanks.
I did.
Terrible joke.
It's true. This is true. Look, I was too virile, okay?
It happens. It happens.
Oh, man.
We're really after dark now.
So
I'm sorry, everyone.
it was about 4 days of not shaving over like a Friday. Saturday, Sunday. Oh yeah, right, when I went to Great Wolf Lodge. So I had a couple days off. So I had like a 4-day not being at work and not painting anything. And so I let it grow out. And as I was shaving everything to come into work, I left the mustache and Yvonne came out of the bathroom and I was like, and she just kept walking.
No. Oh.
So I did it. I pitched it for you. I
appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm just interested because we'll never see mine. I can't not have a beard. It's just not allowed.
You can't?
No. Yeah, I have to have a beard.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Go for it, Dan.
Hola, LLD. Question for Senor Linus. Have you looked into the growing market of sleep-focused earbuds recently? Thanks for the screwdriver bundle. Gonna be my new aerospace maintenance toys.
Sick. I have not. Every sleep-focused earbud or sleep mask or like thing that goes over here and has speakers built into it that I've ever seen was less comfortable and oftentimes as expensive or more expensive compared to just AirPods. And so I've just yet to discover a reason for them to exist. Yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble with my AirPods Pros lately, though. I have AirPods Pro 2s, and I'm getting this weird issue when connected to my PC where the volume just keeps cranking, and then I like turn it down 3 notches, and then it cranks again, but the volume slider doesn't change, so I turn it down a bit more, and I get to the point where I'm at like 1, and it's too loud, so I'm at 1 or 0, and it's like, okay, thank you very much for that, and then I'm having weird reception issues with them too, which I never had before. Yeah, I don't know, man. Anyway.
Hi, LDL. Looking forward to all 3 of your frosted tips. Question for probably Luke. What is your favorite app for counting macros or calories? Do you even count? Oh, and Linus, congrats on the boobies.
Thank you.
I think it's called Macro Factor.
You're going to have to explain what a macro is to me.
Sure.
I have no idea. I just swim or
Give me a sec.
badminton or whatever. I just do stuff.
Adam got me on Macro Factor as well.
I don't know anything.
Pretty good.
Yes,
Syncs
Macro
with
Factor.
my smartwatch too.
Yeah. So basically, you can look for your like protein, carb, and fat goals for a day within a certain amount of calories. And then you log the food that you eat throughout the day and when, and you give it input on what level of exercise you're doing. And it tries to balance your calories in, calories out to match whatever your goal is, gaining weight, losing weight, maintaining, whatever.
Can I just eat when I'm hungry?
You might be able to.
All right, cool.
Right now, I can't. I'll get there.
Cool. Have you heard that
Well, I mean, I
Steve-O
can,
from
but
Jackass
it
is getting
makes it
fake
easier for me.
boobs? I mean, I hardly think that that's even like noteworthy
It's
these
just
days.
Steve-O. Also that.
All right.
Next merch message.
Sure. Hi, DLL. What does LMG Incorporated do for sustainability, and what do you all think it will take for the corporations of the world to do their part in preserving the planet?
Hold on one sec. I came up with the idea a few years ago to get a boob job and just film a bunch of legitimately funny hidden camera pranks with me in disguise, and then revealing who I actually am. So he's aware of bodysuits, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want to be in disguise as someone with breasts, you can just wear fake breasts above your skin. How do these people reach adulthood?
Isn't that like Finster's whole thing?
I don't know.
You got to commit to the bits.
Okay.
Yeah. Steve-O collab with Finster?
I mean, sure.
Finster has real boobs now. Okay. I don't know.
Who's Finster?
It's a content creator?
I mean, okay. Is there some context for this, or like, you know what? It doesn't matter.
They wore a suit thing.
A suit?
You were talking the bodysuit or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
They wore one of those for lots of years. Apparently they have them actually now. But they wore a suit thing for years.
Okay, sure. What do you mean Linus is out of touch square? I'm not what?
I don't know.
I wasn't
I didn't
even
call you that.
I explicitly said in the beginning of it that it like wasn't even shocking anymore.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Apparently Finster has come out as full trans now. I didn't know. But apparently that's a thing.
I guess it sounds like we had some hints at the leading up to that.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
I don't know. It just, whatever.
Point and laugh at the boomers. Okay, what's next?
Sustainability. What does LMG do for sustainability, and what do you think it will take for the corporations of the world to do their part preserving the planet?
I'm super anti-plastic. We use as little plastic as humanly possible in the production of our products. I don't think you're ever going to stop people from like buying stuff. So one of the things that we try to do whenever we develop our products is make things that last for a really long time. Reduce is the first one. We have and continue to advocate for upgradable electronics, repairable electronics. There's things that we're bad at. I kind of had a realization that at the scale that we've reached, the number of computer systems and the amount of stuff that we leave on around here.
Remember when I tried to change that not even that long ago, and you told me I couldn't because people need to remote into their computers? And I was like, that seems excessive.
I don't remember the full context, but depending on what we were talking about, I could have conceivably said that. We need to find another solution.
We were closing up after a WAN show, and I was realizing how many people's computers were just on. And I was like, this seems crazy.
Part of it is that I've fought the battle a lot of times. Like I would literally go to someone's workstation that was just unlocked and on.
I'm pretty sure we could win.
And I would set it to screen off.
The IT team is now powerful.
Okay, that's fair. But I would set it to turn off, and then like the next day, I would see the same one on. I'd be like, what is going on here? It would particularly happen with the ingest stations. They would keep changing them back to never go to sleep. And I'm like, okay, I get it. If it goes to sleep during a transfer, it might like cause an issue or something. Set it to like 4 hours or something then. Sure. No transfer is going to take 4 hours.
You could even do like 8. Come in the morning, use it once, it stays on for the rest of the day and shuts down. At least it's going to shut down eventually. My goodness.
Yeah. Hit me, Dan. Yeah. We should and could do more, and we want to do more, but I'm also not gonna pretend to set like an arbitrary. We're gonna be carbon neutral by whatever. Yeah. Like we're gonna do little things that we can. We're gonna make things that last, and we're gonna use less plastic.
Yeah.
Hi, all from Burnaby. Which entities own all the cable that connects the world to the internet? Do they not stand in a position to make the worst trained LLM? Also, come to Langley Ribfest.
Owning the cable doesn't mean that you actually have any meaningful way of harvesting the data that is being transmitted on it. A lot of it is encrypted, and if you're not at an endpoint, you essentially are not privy to what is passing through that cable necessarily. So it's not really quite that simple.
Hey, Linus, as a cereal snob, what would be your top 3 underrated cereals?
Okay, cereals that are underrated. I don't know what cereals are underrated. I don't participate in the cereal snob community.
Bran flakes.
Bran
buds.
Are you a bran enthusiast, Dan?
I'm just thinking of things that people might not like that you may actually like. Those are the 2 cereals that
I'm not on r/serial killers, assuming that was what they would call a cereal community.
So, yeah, that
you got Superb Owl and that type of
possible.
thing.
That's what I would call it. So I only eat like mainstream cereals from Kellogg's and Post and stuff. Like I'm honestly not that much of a snob. I just really appreciate. I'm enough of a snob that I can tell the difference in like manufacturing tolerances from one batch to the next. Like when the boxes on the shelf have all been gone and replaced by a new batch of mini wheats, like I can tell that the frosting consistency is lower and the ratio is off.
Wow.
So I'm enough of a snob that I'm like that, where I will literally stop eating cranberry almond crunch because it's too crunchy now and they screwed up the final glazing or like roasting component of it. I don't know much about how it's made.
It's too crunchy?
I just know that corn pops when I was in grade 8 were freaking awesome up here in Canada. They're different from the US. The US ones are still good. But the Canadian ones were perfectly round.
Never liked the US ones. They're not round.
You get used to it though.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good once you if you were expecting like early 2000s Canadian corn pops, the American ones would be sorely disappointing.
Yeah.
But if you compare the American ones to the atrocity that we have now.
Oh no.
Have you not eaten corn pops in the last 15 years? Oh, they suck.
I had them when I was a kid.
Yeah, they suck. They've gone through a number of phases. So they were perfect. And then they did something. I think they changed the sugar outer coating, the crunchy coating, and they would get soft like immediately. And then they hard corrected the other way to the point where it was like chewing on a mouthful of broken glass.
Back when they used to like hurt the roof of your mouth.
Yeah,
that was like prime. There
was a time where they hurt too much. After the time when they hurt a little. And anyway, they basically, I haven't actually had them in a while, so it's possible they've dialed it back in and they're good now, but man, did they ever suck. Oh man, Honey Nut Cheerios before Post went all whole grain and everything. Dude,
so good.
As a kid, that
was my main line.
I would eat an entire box of Honey Nut Cheerios dry. Like I didn't even need milk, man. They were so good.
I was definitely into the having it with milk thing, but those were my main line. My mom used to buy those like super family packs.
Nice.
So good.
Nice. Yeah, man, Cheerios. It's always been funny to me to see Marquez with his back in the day when he was living in his dorm and he had his little Cheerios box. I was like, you don't even know what good Cheerios taste like, young man.
Sad. I weep for the youngers.
I know.
Not get to enjoy the high quality cereal of our youth.
If there was a petition that I could start,
bring back good cereal.
It would be bring back white flour cereal.
There's your
just like Post. Just stop. Just it's all garbage and it's terrible for you anyway.
There's your consumable for LTTStore.
A good cereal.
Yeah.
I don't even think.
You're the cereal snob. This could make sense. This actually makes more sense than it has any right to.
I don't think we could make a cereal that would satisfy me.
Whoa. Did you hear that, Creator Warehouse?
Yeah. No, we couldn't do it. So I can tell you guys what I like. I'm a big mini wheats guy. Sometimes the frosting is not enough. Sometimes it's too heavy. But you pour like a third of a bowl, a little bit too much milk, and like eat it fast. And the milk's got to be like 3.25% or whatever, no skim milk or anything like that because that's gross. But you get that fatty milk in there, like ice cold. It's got to be as cold as possible, and then I'll pour like another third of a bowl, and then like another third of a bowl. I would never pour a full bowl of mini wheats. That's disgusting. By the time you get to the end of it, it's
not good.
Yeah, you might as well have just gotten the big shredded wheat thing and then dumped some sugar in the milk. Like it's soggy. It's a soggy mess.
What?
I do like triple berry oatmeal crisp. I add extra cranberries, like my own berries. I love dried like craisins. What are you reacting to?
Elijah said, I use cream or water with cereal.
What?
That is genuinely offensive.
I have eaten Cheerios with water once when I was desperate. It was horrible. And Elijah doesn't know anything. So there's that.
Those are like two sides of the absolute most ridiculous spectrum.
I still love me some Honey Nut Cheerios. Honey Nut Cheerios are still good, even though they're not nearly as good as they used to be.
The point of the milk isn't to wet it.
Honey Nut Chex. Honey Nut Chex are a drug. And my guilty pleasure, like the worst of all the horrible sugar cereals that I eat, Nesquik.
Really?
It's
I don't think I've ever had it.
so good.
Make a cereal?
I didn't, yeah.
It's little like chocolate balls.
I assumed, yeah.
It's kind of like if Corn Pops were smaller and chocolate, and by the time there is so much chocolate flavor in them that by the time you're done the bowl, especially if you do what I do and eat all the cereals out of it and then re-pour, you are basically drinking chocolate milk.
That's pretty good.
It's like the worst thing. I do not indulge that very often, especially at my rapidly advancing age.
I like Goleen Crunch.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. It's good.
Used to be a Quaker Harvest Crunch guy. Actually, that'll be my underrated cereal. And to your point, Dan, about bran, actually a Raisin Bran guy. But same thing, you got to pour small bowls. But a bowl of Raisin Bran with the right with the right ratio of raisins, actually pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm more into like muesli style.
I've never tried
Crunchy.
Reese Puffs because I'm afraid that I'd never stop eating them.
You would never stop eating them.
Yeah. So I've actually never tried them on purpose.
I refuse to buy them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a dessert food. I like cereal for dessert sometimes.
Yeah.
Noki 1119 in Floatplane chat. Please mention WAN's anniversary. The 12th of July 2013 was the first WAN Show episode. Today is the exact same day, 11 years later.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday, WAN Show.
Neither of us had any idea.
You've grown.
Just a smidge.
Yeah, apparently.
See, we got a...
Oh, you have a tumor now.
Oh, that took me a little bit.
All right.
Get it? Is that implying Dan's our child?
Or the
No, it's a
fat
malignant
we've
tumor.
gained in our age.
Wow. Next merch message.
I'm made of cellulose. Let's see. Hey, LLD, thanks for the screwdriver sale. Grabbed a few bit sets, so it's less of a write-off. Luke, what is your favorite technology you have gotten for Floatplane?
Favorite tech I've gotten for Floatplane. What does it mean?
I vote the work that they've done on the transcode stack. I think that's the thing you think is
So does
coolest.
that count as getting
Yeah. I think so.
through the work of people that work at Floatplane?
Oh,
That
that's
makes sense.
how I interpreted it.
Okay, yeah.
I think our transcode stack is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I do like that. It is very cool. I'll go with that.
Figuring
There's
out
a
payments,
lot of stuff though.
that was complicated.
Still doing that.
Yeah.
Some of the Kubernetes work that's been going on from Jonathan has been really sick. Jaden just whips out Jaden's whole thing recently seems to be like, oh, by the way, I'm working on this thing kind of on the side every once in a while. And I'm like, oh, that's neat. And then the next day he's like, it's done. Like, what? Okay, cool.
Good old Jaden.
Thanks, Jaden. Yeah, I don't know. There's tons of, if we're talking about like our own contributions, it's very wide reaching. We've made a lot of different things. But yeah, it's all very good.
Question.
Hold on,
sorry.
I've got one that's not a merch message here in Floatplane chat from Kren. Thoughts on the Samsung Ring announcement? It's a ring that's only compatible with a Samsung phone.
Yep, that's annoying.
So go fuck yourself, I guess.
It's $400.
See you later.
Ugh. Question for LLD. I just quit my job mid-shift with no notice at a hospital after being there 2 months post-college. How would you handle being overworked and undertrained? Where do I go from here?
What was it like?
I don't know. It depends if you like the thing, I think. Like, I enjoyed what we were doing. So, like, it's probably what I would have wanted to do anyways.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's say you're working at a hospital cleaning up pee and poo, though.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
I think, did they say they're just out of school? Was that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's tough. Because
Finding out after you finished a program that you don't want to do that job is a real bummer.
yeah, especially as far as I know, basically all medical education that would land you in a hospital is really expensive. So I don't know. That's tough. I'm not sure what I would necessarily do or go from there.
Oh, hold on. Porto says it was not confirmed to only work on Samsung. So hopefully that's not true, in which case I'm moderately glad that some people who want that product can have it. Nice.
It's out of water. It's okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was that hospital. Maybe try to apply somewhere else. But as far as my understanding goes, working in a hospital is hectic and you're overworked and there's crazy hours. And that's just sort of how it goes. So,
Yeah, I wish that wasn't the case. That
for sure.
that seems pretty not cool.
Yeah.
Beggy says we want more AJ on camera. He knows his shiz.
That's a fun video.
Well, I've been trying to convince AJ.
Hey, AJ.
Hey, AJ, if you're watching this.
Why don't you go on camera more?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. You ever think of that?
Huh?
All right.
We even saw he had one core problem that he kept insisting was actually a core problem, and then I really questioned him on it, and we ended up Googling some things and figured out that maybe it's not as much of a core problem as we thought it was. AJ, I didn't even think about that until right now. We had a conversation about you moving here today, and I didn't think about that.
Okay, this is getting dangerously close to an HR conversation on camera.
That's fair.
Luke is HR. It's a different company.
That's maybe not good.
Please don't sue.
Technically, those people use the same HR resources that LMG has.
That's true.
It's like actually fun.
That's why it's umbrella HR, right?
Yeah. Okay, I can. But AJ, you should move here. That would be very cool.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool.
Then you can have HR meetings in person.
Okay, both of you need to stop. Why am I the voice of reason?
Oh man, I need a break sometimes. All right, maybe tee us up for another one.
Okay, sure. You want to cover interesting things. Are there things the audience might find interesting that you wouldn't cover because you don't find it interesting yourself?
Yes. But I think chasing that has also led us to cover things that we're just not as interested or passionate about. So it's finding a balance.
Which is going to hurt.
Yeah, we need to find a better balance.
Yeah.
Hi, DLL. I saw the new backpack that Linus was wearing in the Taiwan PC giveaway video. Is there an ETA on that? And is it also affected by the same reasons that affected the Lux backpack?
There's no ETA, but no, it's not affected by the supplier relations challenges. It's affected by it not being very good. It needs a lot of work.
Hi, WAN.
Are you texting me?
No.
Oh. Hold on. One of my Taiwan friends just sent me a video. What is this? Oh, no. Okay, they just got married.
That's cool. Congrats.
Yeah.
Tell them a sizable portion of the internet says congrats. Because I'm assuming they will be doing this. I think that's generally how that works.
Couples dinner next year.
Yep, there it goes. Do they know? This is one interesting thing about Linus's badminton friends in Taiwan is they know him from badminton.
Yeah.
Like, do they even realize this could be a thing that's happening right now? Because you could send them a picture of chat where everyone's saying congrats.
Like a year and a bit ago, we like had dinner and talked a fair
what
bit.
you do and stuff.
Yeah, we like talked and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna send him. I'll send him a picture of chat right now.
Cool.
Here we go.
It's fun.
My live stream says congrats. All right, what else we got?
Sure. Hi, WAN. Wondering what's up with the headphones.com partnership with audio testing. Did the labs testing not work out? Did you find they were basically already doing what you were planning?
We are still working on internal testing. We are always appreciative of external partners like headphones.com. Those guys are super cool. I actually met one of those folks. Buddy's name is Blaine. He came up and shot a video with us at my house earlier this week. We were trying out this wild sound bar. It's called the Nakamichi Dragon.
What a name.
It's a $4,000 sound bar.
That's a large sum.
But it comes with surround speakers.
So it's not just a sound bar.
2 subwoofers.
So it is not a sound bar.
And it weighs as much as a child. It's freaking crazy. The complete package, I think, weighs about 160 pounds.
That's a very large child.
Yeah, well, I meant the sound bar weighs as much as a child.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And anyway, they came up to work with us on it and help with some recording and stuff. So expect to see our audio coverage continue to evolve.
I guess at one time I was a child that weighed 160 pounds, but I was a fairly large child. So that makes sense.
We're all still kids at heart.
I was thinking back and I was like, yeah, I was a child and I weighed that much. Maybe that's not as crazy.
Back in my day, I was a child.
Line is hilarious. That was the emoji that he sent me back for that.
Yeah,
Or
line
not
has such
emoji, the
crazy.
animation, whatever they are. I don't know what to call them.
Yeah.
The reaction.
Yeah.
Cool.
A couple more for you here. Best screwdrivers. Working on my JDM Subaru SG5 Forester with it right now.
Nice.
Luke,
Very
what
nice.
cars did you drift on your Japan trip?
Oh no.
You don't remember. Cringe.
Nissan Z was the one that I was drifting. I'm trying to remember. I know
cool.
he just calls it the Chaser. But that's the one that I was riding in that Samet was driving. Is that the actual name of the? I think so.
Wow, this thing looks cool.
Sorry?
The Nissan Z? This thing looks cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just shopping right now.
For cars?
Well, I don't know. No. I'm just... Sure, fine, whatever.
I don't think it was like a new one, to be clear.
No, by shopping, I mean I'm like looking. Like I'm not buying a car. I'm just looking.
Would you use the word shopping if you had no intention to buy?
Yeah, window shopping.
Window shopping.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, it's actually called the Chaser, the Toyota Chaser. So I was right. I just wasn't sure if that was what he called it, and then I remember that was actually the model name. I don't think we have Toyota Chasers here, so I forgot. But yeah, that was the one that I was a passenger in.
Got it.
And then I actually drove the Z.
Cool.
And it was fantastic. Very cool.
Hi guys, do you see a problem with developers who perform well and do not want to advance positions? I'm happy as a developer team lead. About 9 years from retirement, I'm annually pressured to set goals.
A developer team lead is a developer who advanced their position, just to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
But also, no, I don't think so. Not everyone wants to manage. And that's fine.
I can understand why they pressure you to manage, because finding developers who are willing to develop their management skills can be...
Turns out that's tough.
Turns out that a lot of introverts find their way to development.
And a lot of people that started doing something as difficult as software development probably got into it because they want to do software development. And not necessarily because they want to manage. So like this all makes sense to me. That being said, there are some people that are on my team that I've kind of nudged to be like, hey, are you interested in that? Could be helpful. And they have generally expressed that they are not. There's someone in chat, EBLX. As a dev manager, I want to go back to being a dev. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So I don't know. For most people, I would suggest to consider it just because it's a pretty desired position. But if you're not into managing people and you just want to keep doing development, there's a ton of respect in that. You need really talented, experienced developers to be leading things very often. And I don't think that the end scale of everything should be management, personally. So that is what it is.
DLL, what are your thoughts on the current 13th and 14th gen Intel KKS situation being far bigger than simple BIOS or microcode updates? Meaning the problem is baked in. How does Intel solve this? Via recalls?
I think that they are up the creek without a paddle. The fact that these chips are...
What, like, you recall the chip, and then what does that person do with the rest of their system?
The fact that these top spec chips are impacted while the lower down versions are not, to me, is indicative that Intel has pushed things too far. What they can possibly do to get themselves out of this situation, honestly, I am not sure. Obviously, they need to replace every chip that dies. But I think that if you were to say something like every CPU that causes a system blue screen should be immediately RMA'd, you'd be laughed out of town because there's so many factors that I think nailing this down to the CPU being the defect is going to be really difficult and confusing for a lot of end users. So how do they solve this? I mean, some kind of recall mechanism seems like it's going to be necessary at some point here, unless they can figure out a way to fix this remotely. This is a big challenge. Beggy says they could take the Apple route and ignore the issue.
I don't know if they're going to be able to.
I think they will.
You think so?
I do. That's what I suspect they're going to do.
There's a lot of loud noise being made.
There's a lot of loud noise being made in an extremely small teacup.
That's fair.
In the grand scheme of things, Intel could just stop making K chips altogether tomorrow, and
it wouldn't really matter for them.
It would be a notable item on their quarterly investment call. And they would say, yeah, we've made some divestment from the sort of enthusiast overclockable.
We're focusing on enterprise more. Stock go up.
We're focusing on AI PCs through our tier 1 partners and OEMs. Like it's
rough. Not the greatest time to be a PC person.
That's what I think is going to happen. And
you think they're going to stop making K chips?
No, I think that they would do that before recalling all of 2 generations of K chips. Yeah. I think they'd just be like, screw it, forget it.
I don't think we'll see a recall. I also think a recall would honestly piss people off because they built a computer around this thing.
It would also draw way more attention to it than probably it would ever have any chance of getting through just us talking about it. Other tech channels talking about it, websites talking about it.
Hopefully Wendell's recent dive. Just on Level1Techs, right? Where is it? Intel has a pretty big problem on Level1Techs from Wendell 2 days ago.
Yeah, if you guys want to check it out, go watch it.
Also, this is like a minor aside, but Wendell's hosting in this video is also fantastic. I just want to say that.
Yeah, I love Wendell.
Fantastic video.
And last one I've got for you tonight, Aloha LLD. I recently moved to Hawaii as my partner got stationed in Pearl Harbor from the Navy. My tower is still mainland, and I'm worried it won't survive the shipping.
You should be.
Any tips? Mahalo.
Take the GPU out.
Yeah, that's a big one. We actually did a whole video on this. How to ship your computer. Apparently Jay's 2 cents also did a video on it. But I'm going to link you to this one. Got him. And I think that's pretty much it. We will see you guys again next week. Same bad time Same bad channel. Enjoy your screwdrivers. A bunch of you bought gift cards this week. Oh, that makes sense because Lime Day is coming up. So you're just buying gift cards.
Yeah.
I see you.
Tactical. Strategic. Did you say your bit?
Yeah.
Oh, bye!
Happy anniversary, everyone!
Yeah.